Go, yon, san, ni, ichi.
Ichi konnichiwa.
Minasan, konnichiwa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk to Keki. We're playing in the background on my phone as I try to share it. Gohan came back to life for one episode. Made It Abyss is still the best piece of media. We got stuff to talk about. I'm Matt, your host, as always. And to join me, the man who is also tired, the man who's also working late like I was this whole week. That's why we're delayed. Mostly me. Even, what's up?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm tired of shit. I've had a pretty shitty day, some personal shit. But you know, I'm here, bro. At the end of the day, we do what we gotta do for the sake of anime.
For the people.
We do it for the people.
Exactly. We have a couple of weeks to talk about, but we are going to do our best to condense them.
Indeed, we shall.
Mostly main key points that happen. That's what we're going to focus on mostly. But before we get to one of our big reviews already,
can I not get
a couple of news? What?
Can I do the everyone? There we go. There's the everyone tag.
There's everyone.
Everyone tag. Let's go, bitch. All right, go ahead with your news, buddy.
Like I said, a couple. One Punch Man is getting the first season. I don't know who's animating it, but we still got it.
Bro, I'm happy as shit.
Like I said, season 2 is shit.
It wasn't shit. It just wasn't great.
The quality definitely declined.
No doubt. No doubt. I gave season 1 a 4 out of 5. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. It wasn't a 5, but it wasn't, quite a 4. It was more than that. So
yeah, season two, I gave a 3.25, essentially.
Yeah, it was about 3.5 for me.
Yeah, like it was there, but again, the animation really dragged it down.
It wasn't, it was less funny, and they tried to give more story, but
yeah, I liked Garo though.
Yeah, of course, everyone did. Yeah. It was the best part of the series.
Yeah, we'll get to him later, but but yeah, there's a couple. All right, we got a couple of adaptations: The Witch and the Beast, not Beauty and the Beast, The Witch and the Beast.
Oh shit!
So look at the poster now; it looks very interesting. It could be like a different thing of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Is it like Belle?
What?
Is it like Belle?
No, there's no virtual world or anything like that.
What do you think? I know because I mentioned Belle. What do you think, real quickly? What do you think about all these shows that like adapt like Disney and other like popular movies of the past?
Well, I enjoy it because again, even those they don't adapt to the original story of the books like they do because again they gotta make them kid friendly.
Of course.
So we're getting that. So I like that there's different takes on it. If you can make it interesting, I am all for it.
And it was. Belle was interesting. What was that other one we watched that was similar? Netflix one.
Bubble.
Interesting. It's good shit.
Yeah, if you keep the concept and make it your own thing, it works. It definitely works.
I dig it. All right, keep on going. Sorry.
All righty, no problem. What you call it? Surune gets a second season. The first shot, or this one's called The Connected Shot. It'll be winter 2023. Oh, we got another long title for this light novel. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
I'll watch it.
I know I'm gonna watch it. It's just
there's a few that drop, and I was just like meh. But then like
and then we get character pictures and shit like that. It's like okay,
but I just as soon as I hear the title, like you get an idea. Like obviously I'm gonna read what the fuck it like means, but
right.
Meh.
Let's see. Paprika novel gets a Western live action series.
That'll suck because it's all live action suck.
Yeah. Romantic Killer gets an anime adaptation.
That's
Parasite is going to get a Korean drama on Netflix.
What?
So the anime Parasite.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's getting a Korean drama on Netflix.
Oh, so that'll be solid. That'll be the next pandemic thing of 2020.
Yeah, no. I love
takes over.
I love my Korean drama, so we're good.
I still have yet to finish watching fucking not Squid Game, the other one,
Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland. I've yet to finish it.
That was fun.
I started it with an ex-girlfriend and we liked it, and then we argued and she finished it without me, and then I just haven't gotten to it.
That's the ultimate petty thing. I finished without you.
Like, all right, bitch, damn.
We got we got a trailer for the Megumi spinoff. I can't wait.
Megumi. What the fuck is a Megumi?
Megumi.
How dare you insult our 14-year-old protagonist?
Yeah, the exploding lolly. I know.
Yes, the exploding lolly. Darkness is still my favorite.
And we are gonna end with the unfortunate news of voice actor Otomo Kiyokawa passed away at the age of 87. He was mostly known for Evangelion. He voiced Kozu Fujisuki, the general that was with Shinji's dad. Pneumonia.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But
killer, bro.
Condolences to his friends, family, and loved ones.
Indeed.
As always.
By the way, you missed one. I guess this will be a good interlude. So we're going to do the review?
Yes.
All right. So you missed one piece of interview, one piece of news. The movie that we're going to go ahead and review right now, Dragon Ball, is currently, according to Crunchyroll, becomes the 5th highest grossing anime film at U.S. box office with over $30 million gross.
Right. That is right. Way to go.
Right. Cause nostalgia.
Yeah, America loves Dragon Ball.
America loves Dragon Ball. So, without further ado, let's get into it, Matt.
Yep. Again, yeah. I'm glad Gohan came back.
Yeah, Gohan.
They wish him back. They wish him back from the Dragon Balls. And here we are. They wish him back for one day.
One night.
And this is what happens.
One night only, bro. And you know what? It's not canon.
No.
That's what sucks, bro. Like
that's what downgraded. It's like, come on.
I really hope that they integrated at some point.
They can. They still
can for sure.
Now it's just will they?
That would be like the ultimate like thing, like when the Dragon Ball is finally over, right? Everything is completely all said and done.
They could have Gohan's
Goku dies and
Gohan Frieza Black.
Yeah, right. I still say it's racial fucking appropriation, bro.
Cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation, dude. What the fuck? It's like, oh, hello, monkeys. What's up, dog? What the fuck?
Hello, filthy monkeys. Oh.
Yeah, no, you can't be saying some racist shit and then dress up. Like, bro, like I was telling my boy at the movie theater, he's talking about, yo, Black Frieza. I was like, bro, it's cultural appropriation with the racist guy saying what's up, dog. Bro, that's like the KKK wearing freaking wearing a snapback and some Timbs, bro. No, you don't get to do that.
Well, he can.
You don't get to do that, bro. You don't see the KKK taking pictures with mariachi. That doesn't work out. No. That's the equivalent of what that is. Stop.
Oh man. The main focus of this one was Piccolo.
I know. The real daddy.
I enjoyed that.
Real daddy.
Yes, and Pan's adorable. Pan
is the best part of the movie.
Yes. Yeah, she's a natural. Like, she did this quicker than Gohan when he trained.
She's fucking great. And she's only 3. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like, wow, Gohan was 4, maybe 5.
Right? No,
he got his ass kicked.
He was 4, yeah, and he kept constantly getting his ass kicked. But you know why?
Pan just couldn't fly yet.
Because he was freaking, what's it called? He was raised by weak ass, what's it called? Chi-Chi.
Yeah, but Chi-Chi trained Goten fine.
For real, right? Goten is fucking...
Yeah. It even made him Super Saiyan.
Just can't fucking touch fingers correctly. But we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, also the villain is Red Ribbon.
And
again, because we can't get rid of them.
I don't mind that aspect. It's just, the story from what it was just so corny. Like
it's just there's so much you can do with them. Like, why?
I don't mind the Red Ribbon Army, but this like new incarnation with like the fucking grandson being an evil piece of shit but loving superheroes. That was
Yeah.
so corny to me. And you know what didn't help? And I said this before, and people like in our group talk shit. I watched it in dub because I didn't realize it. And you know, it's fine because that's one of the only things I grew up on that was dubbed, Sailor Moon and
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. So I didn't mind watching this dub because everyone who knows me knows I loathe dub. But you know, if I had seen this story in Japanese, I'm pretty certain I would hate it a little bit less than watching it in English. Because watching it in dub, I was like, this is so fucking corny.
Yeah,
That's all I kept
that's
saying.
the thing with Dragon Ball. The dub makes it a little bit more cartoonish.
It's so I was like, this shit sucks. Like when I was
Right.
talking at the beginning, I was like, man, this is fucking awful. Like Marte was right. This is for the fucking birds. And then you know, everything started warming up, and I didn't mind it as much. You know, there were still things we'll talk about.
It's still not the worst one. Like he claimed it was.
No, it's not the worst thing.
Like no, it's still Bio Broly.
I was still entertained. You know, for the most part, I was entertained.
No, it was fun. We got what we liked. We got what we wanted.
I wish I hadn't heard anybody's opinion and then watched it, because I had people's opinion like in my head as I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. No, maybe not, but yeah, that's right.
I just ignored Marte.
It's hard
I watched
to.
I watched it Friday. I was like, you know, it's fucking.
Yeah, you watched it early. I had to watch it on Tuesday, so by then everybody had seen it, and I had heard everybody's opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't. Again, it definitely wasn't bad. And again, I like Piccolo. I like that he was actually used. The form's a little ugly, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what kind of bullshit with the dragon? This all of a sudden he has 3 wishes. That's what the deal was. Yeah, you can have multiverse if you do 2 wishes, but not 3 wishes.
Well, now he's got 3.
I know, what the fuck? You could do the do the guru things.
And you know, that's fine because he did the little fucking holy water and shit, and that's cool. But you know, fucking since when did what's it called? God damn it. Now I'm forgetting the fucking
Dende?
No, the dragon. I'm forgetting his name. Shenron, there we go.
Yeah, when the fuck can he do that?
He's fucking doing like, can you make my butt a little bigger? It can be done. Can you make my cock a little bit bigger? It cannot be done. But you made her tits bigger. What the fuck is this?
Oh, we got some comments here.
Yeah, we do.
Damn, Dragon Ball Super opinions were strong, right? And the dragon had 3 wishes. His Dende was there. I could have sworn that was 2. Paranga was 3 with the Namekian dragon.
I thought it was 2 as well, and then he'd be like, "Oh, I'll just raise it up." And remember, Piccolo's like, "I couldn't do that when I was Kami."
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, what the shit with that? Man, come on, man.
I didn't mind it. I wasn't appalled.
I know, but why could anything else? I don't know. Do Gohan's again? He could have done that, but no, we gotta do cosmetic.
No, he got all the power. Yeah, but you know, and I guess that made sense though with the loophole. They're like, "Oh, we could have wished them back." Fuck! Why didn't we wish them back?
Or why didn't fucking Krillin grab Pat and say, "Hey, you should fly"?
Well,
why did he just grab her?
You got to do the minority thing, bro. Like when you teach people to swim, you just grab them, you chuck them in the fucking ocean, swim. You know, you got to do that with Pan. Fucking throw her off a cliff, fly.
No, the bill is blowing up behind you. This fly. You can catch me now. Nah. You have room. I know. I got Bulma. I got my wife. You can. I can't fit you. I could get on top of that. Like no. You gotta fly. You gotta fly right now. Where's Gotenks? She's dead. He's dead somewhere.
Oh my god!
And fucking Gamma 2 was fucking Sonic the Hedgehog with his personality.
Yep, he was. But you know, at first I didn't like him, and then I grew to like, all right, this isn't so bad.
Like they would have been fine additions if it was canon.
But aren't they canon? I was telling my boy that. Are they not canon? I thought Gamma was canon.
No, they were for the movie, so
Gamma's not canon. Because I saw a thing with something that looked like Gamma.
I think the Galactic Patrol, you mean?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw someone that looked like Gamma, had a gun and all that. Had like the little.
I think it's the Galactic Patrol.
From the Flintstones, yeah.
Yeah, it's not them though.
Oh man.
I know it's upsetting. Beerus has a type. He fucking simps.
He does for the little tiny lolly girl.
Yeah, the little you know that Broly fucking wrecked her already.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, it's like
it's like he's like trying to impress her. He's like being all nice, even though lemon.
it's like the demon god in fucking Reincarnation.
Yeah. Right. Oh boy, yeah. Then we had that again. I'm glad there was less focus on Goku and Vegeta this 20 minutes.
But I enjoyed them there. I definitely while they were there, I enjoyed all those cameos. Whis is one of my still one of my favorite DBS
Oh
characters.
yeah, no. Whis and Beerus are still the best additions to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, their entire cameo was definitely worth it. In some sense, I wish I would have gotten a little bit more, but that's fine. Especially with the after credit when you see them, they're still fighting.
We'll get them. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Were they in their max force, or is it just base only? You don't know.
It was base only. Yeah, it was base only.
But I said they could have transformed in between.
Well, but Whis is like, oh, let's go ahead and have a fight, and let's not do any sort of planet destroying action. And they still destroyed everything around them, but
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was a cool fight for what we saw. I just wonder how long that thing fucking lasted.
Oh, hours. I mean, it lasted a whole day. That whole saga was a literal day. So,
yeah, pretty much.
So that they were fighting for at least several hours.
Yeah. But yeah, and we go to that fucking Jiro's grandson. He's the diabetic with the cookies.
He's just,
I was like, dude, that's too many. I can't eat that many. Fuck.
I didn't like that, bro. I have Oreos once a week, and I have 5 Oreos per serving.
Yeah, exactly. And he just eats a plate after plate after plate after plate.
Well, I mean, that's why he looks like the round.
I was like, you know what? Protein or anything?
You get calcium at least. You drink milk.
He got the calcium. Sure. Also, like that the guy shot him. I know it would have worked, but I appreciate that he double tapped.
Oh,
I appreciate that he tried.
Yeah, right.
This just was not going to work.
I just didn't like. I didn't mind. I didn't mind the CEO, the crooked CEO. I didn't mind Vince McMahon in Dragon Ball Super. Good shit, pal. Red ribbon.
Yep, good shit. Red ribbon. Yep, fuck off.
Red ribbon, pal. Yeah.
And then Krillin's like, I mean, Krillin.
This bummer, I want to fuck her.
Oh, Vegeta's gonna fuck her for definitely big time with that victory.
I laughed a little bit when they showed the shot of her like bending over trying to find the communicator to speak to Whis.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where's Vegeta when you need him?"
Yeah, well, wait till he comes back.
You know who I missed? You know who I missed
that
they didn't show? I wanted a Yamcha sighting.
Oh,
they should have given me a Yamcha sighting. That would have made it better.
No Yamcha, no Tenshinhan, no Chatsu.
No.
Or Roshi.
They don't exist anymore. They don't fucking exist anymore. Well, Roshi still does, but none of those other guys fucking exist anymore.
Tien did for the tournament power, and that was it.
Yeah.
He didn't need him. I mean, there's no Mr. Satan because we all know he would have won.
It was a warm body
again.
Yeah, it was just a warm body, but shit,
I'm telling you, Mr. Satan could have killed him. He could have got there, blew up, like, oh yeah, I beat him.
Mr. Satan.
Tell you, the greatest warrior ever.
Okay.
Beat Cell, beat Boo twice, beat Beerus. Telling you.
Shaking my fucking.
No. It's facts.
These nuts.
If he didn't throw 16's head to Gohan, he would have turned Super Saiyan 2, and everyone would have been dead.
That's also got to happen in the climax. Like he's got to learn to fly.
Oh, who's got to learn how to fly?
Huh?
Who's got to learn how to fly?
Mr. Satan.
He should. I'm surprised no one taught him how to fly.
You should know how to fly.
I've been down though. She
learned. Yeah,
I know. That's what I said. She should have showed him. Unless he does instant transmission, it's not telling anyone.
Shame.
Yeah. We don't know what his true power is anymore. But Cell Max
that was corny too. Cell Max was corny.
I like that they made use of his like the fucking dots on his
body. I didn't
mind.
When I first saw Cell Max like in the prototype phase, I was low-key excited. And then they turned him into fucking Godzilla. And I was like, this is corny.
Yeah, he was just a mindless drone, basically.
One of the best things about Cell was his intelligence.
Yeah.
That was literally one of his best.
Even when he was a semi-perfect, he still had that.
Yeah, he had cunning. He had conversational intelligence. He could think and discern. And the fucking mindless self. Oh, beam. Oh,
Yeah.
punch. Oh, I get bigger.
Yeah,
Oh,
and all of a sudden his weakness is his head.
I didn't mind that.
I was like, fucking go tags.
I was low key expecting him to absorb one of the gammas.
I thought that's what was gonna happen. Like the guys were gonna die and he was gonna absorb them, but no, none of that happened.
Nope.
18 got PTSD from the fight.
Basically.
Yeah, no, she wanted nothing to do with it, but it was like, fuck it.
I love 18. She's so fun.
Yeah, she totally picks Krillin.
Oh yeah, no, zero doubt.
No, they take turns. They take turns.
You know he's got to wear like the extendo cock for.
Oh no, he's a grower.
I never understood that. I had a friend of mine that she used an extendo cock with her boyfriend, and I'm like, what's the point of a guy wearing an extendo cock? They're like, oh, it's to like feel. I was like, you feel nothing. Like the man doesn't feel anything. You feel zero. Huh. Like you got. I mean, I've never tried it, but you got to.
I haven't either. So
it's a plastic thing. You're doing all the work and you're getting no feeling. That sounds like a horrible fucking end of the deal.
So it's a strap on.
And yeah, basically it's like a fucking shell, and you strap it to your cock, and it acts as like an extension of your cock, and you fuck her with it.
But is there a hole to ejaculate or just no?
I don't know. To me, it just seems like you're sticking something else that's plastic inside of her, and you're getting nothing from that, and you're doing all the work because you're pumping. That just seems like shit. That seems like such a shit end of the fucking stick.
No, like there has to be something in there to make you feel something. Like there has to be. Otherwise, what's the point?
To make her feel good.
Yeah, but shouldn't you both feel good?
That should be what should happen.
Yeah,
right?
That's what should happen. Yes.
Like that doesn't make any sense. But imagine like you fuck her with the extendo cock, she loves it, and she comes, and then fucking afterwards you fuck her with your real dick, and she's like, "Oh God, this is fuck. Are you done yet?"
I was what the fuck?
People are listening to this podcast. We're like, "What the fuck were we listening to?" I thought
where's the Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball is the extendo cocks.
Dragon Ball Super Cock.
Oh, I'm dead. All right. Anyway, let's move back on.
Let's get to the big being the matter. Piccolo's form and Gohan's form.
I loved it. I love those.
I didn't get why it was called Orange Piccolo, but you know what? It's like okay, like when he actually turned bulky, you saw the orange.
Yeah, he turns orange. Like it makes sense. You know, like you got Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Red.
I know we call like Demon. You wouldn't call it like Demon King form or something like that, or whatever he wants to call himself,
right?
And then
what is
Gohan
form? Oh, Demon Monkey, Beast Monkey, or something.
No, it's just Beast form.
He did remind me. He reminded me of GT. He reminded me of what is that? Is that
Baby?
No, maybe.
That's
I didn't watch GT. Hair. I didn't watch GT.
Yeah, that's the guy with white hair. Was like Baby Vegeta.
Maybe. Yeah, but it had that. It kind of struck me like the characters from GT.
Yeah, it was definitely Super Saiyan 2 hairstyle, just with the white.
Yeah, it's like a mix of his ultimate form, like whatever that was, because his ultimate form is similar to ultimate Ultra Instinct, where freaking you don't don't turn, but you're like super powerful. So it's a mix of that, but he mixed Super Saiyan in there as well. But he wasn't Super Saiyan, but he was like. It's odd, but
he was definitely something.
It was a dope level up. I like it.
And the fucking special beam cannon. That was
so sick.
I'm glad it was a Kamehameha.
Bro, I'm telling you, Piccolo is daddy.
Yeah. Piccolo is daddy and granddaddy.
And granddaddy, bro. Piccolo is his real father, bro. And
picks up Pat from school.
Yo, at the end, it's literally
for a plushie.
Literally. Yeah, literally, dude. Like Piccolo is daddy. What did you think about the CGI?
I didn't hate it.
Me neither. It was a weird fighting style. It was a weird fighting style at first because it wasn't quite DBZ level. Somebody had mentioned that I talked to. They're like, "Oh, it's like Marvel, like DC fighting," and I was like, I can kind of see that a little bit. But it's not you're used to it. Some of the angles and camera shots were a bit weird. It was like
it definitely improved. Like again, we're used to in the 2D format,
mm-hmm.
and the only time we really saw him in the 3D CGI, which is when in the Battle of the Gods movie and then Broly
Mhm.
movie.
Which was fine. Like that.
Yeah,
That
and now we had
integrated quite
and now we
well.
had a full thing. It worked for Gohan. It worked for Piccolo.
I didn't like it when we were in the middle of story, like when we were dealing with Dr. Hedo and all that
Yeah,
other shit.
basically once we got
But
to Vegeta and Goku, that's when it started to get more like tolerable.
yeah, it got more tolerable during the fights. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst by any means. And then
Yeah,
the power levels, I think when they powered up, it definitely the CGI definitely benefited those power levels. Like, or let me phrase it, the power levels definitely benefited from that.
power levels are bullshit.
No, but like at least the power levels, like with
Yeah.
the CGI, it looked great. The special beam cannon with the CGI was flawless. That
Right.
was fucking awesome. That was a great shot. Special beam cannon and the CGI was awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, just the level ups were freaking dope.
I just love how Piccolo remembered moves he forgot long ago, like growing big, the extended arms.
But he was real. He was like, I grow big, but it's just for show. It doesn't do anything.
I know, but like again, like he forgot all about it. Also, I was like,
has
oh,
he had to regrow his limbs?
what?
I said, has he had to regrow his limbs?
Like extend them? Yeah, he's done that.
No, not extend them, grow them. Like you said,
like,
you said regrow, and I was like, he hasn't had a need.
Basically, wherever he lost them, he would grow them back.
I know, but he hasn't had a need to, has he? I don't recall him having a need to grow anything back.
You say I think only when Cell
and did
absorbed them. Yeah, that's the only time I remember when he really needed.
Yeah, he hasn't. You said he forgot. I was like, he hasn't had a need.
No, he like forgot like the extended hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that, and like turned into a giant, like he did in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this instance, like you said, it benefited for sure, but
yeah. And then Omega Shenron comes to life because Bulma abuses it for cosmetics. This is why we had the Black Star Dragons.
It was a little funny though, like it was like really, but at the same time, like at least the commentary was pretty funny.
Although, Frieza did rip them off. You're right.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
with Nail, yeah.
That makes sense.
I was waiting for I can win. I feel great. I can do this. I was waiting for that again when he got that power up. It's like, come on, do it.
Oh my god. No, but the comedy, and that was another thing. Like I felt a lot of the comedy, not a lot, but a good portion of the comedy was forced. I definitely felt like it was forced comedy, and I feel like it's definitely Marte commenting. What do you think?
It was irritating. Yeah.
It seems like Marte is definitely commentating. It is Marte.
Oh, yeah. It is Marte.
It is Marte. What's up, Marte? Anyway, some of the comedy felt forced. But some of the comedy was drop dead hilarious. I thought like the stuff like on Beerus's planet was hilarious. The commentary between Goku and Piccolo, or not Goku and Piccolo. I'm sorry. Bulma and Piccolo was was funny in its own little ways. Wasn't that bad. But yeah, just some of the comedy was just like, come on, dude. Like, really? It definitely felt like between that and the CGI, it was like it was appealing to fucking little kids.
Right.
The comedy didn't help the story.
But yeah.
I don't think comedy is necessarily meant to help most stories. It's just meant to be thrown in there for for entertainment purposes or to please another side of the audience, but it's not necessarily for that. I did like Beerus having a crush. That was hilarious. Like I said, all the stuff that happened on Beerus's planet, hilarious, for sure. And then even a couple of the interactions with Gohan, I thought were pretty funny. I was annoyed that freaking they gave fucking Gohan the Sasuke treatment with or Sara the treatment from Boruto, where freaking he has shitty eyes, and then when he goes Super Saiyan, up it's fixed. Like what the fuck? That was dumb.
Right. Yeah. Final thoughts before we move on.
Like I said, CGI was okay. Vegeta won. That was cool. Yeah, that's the aftercare.
Yeah. Celebratory sex. Vegeta's gonna fuck Bulma's new ass.
Oh my god. Goten also.
Yeah, it's like he won and nobody cared except for Broly and Lemon. Whis was napping. Whis was like, oh, it's over.
No, Whis was like just daydreaming. Beerus was napping.
Yeah, that's what Whis was like. That's what I said. Whis was like, oh yeah, Vegeta wins. Yeah,
Vegeta wins, and that's after he looked at the thing, the pulse. He's like, oh, oops, missed something good here. You got more ice cream? Nope. Click.
Yep.
That was good.
Yeah, well, yeah, fine.
But no,
Fuck you.
CGI was okay. Comedy felt forced at times, hilarious at others.
Fights. Some of the fights
Um,
were nice,
some of the fights were nice. A
and
lot of the story was
again,
corny. The fact it's not canon
Piccolo
pisses me
was the
off.
highlight.
Pan was the highlight. What do you mean?
Yeah, Piccolo and Pan, like they were the
Yeah, Piccolo
best.
and Pan was the highlight, and then obviously
Great
Gohan's
seeing
final form.
Gohan.
Yep. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like a low end 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's a 3 out of 5 as well.
Yeah,
Definitely a fun time.
definitely. Marte, did you catch us talking about plastic cocks? No response, right? He probably left.
He's gone already. All right, let's get to some reviews. We'll try to make most of them brief.
You know me, it's hard for me to do that.
That's why I said try.
Yeah, shit. All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Ruby, I hate that this is like a single long story in the grand scheme of a larger story. That definitely takes me away from Ruby. It's Ruby's just solid. We continue to see them struggle in Weiss's dream, and they're continuously fighting. That Ruby almost gets caught within a dream, but if it wasn't for John recognizing that his sword can cut out the dreams and shit, he saved Ruby basically. And they try to come up with plans. Like, I don't know how to describe it at this stage, because I mean, I could go and give you detail by detail, but because it's not linear. Like, it's linear, but it's not, because of the fact that it's a story within the story that's early on in their journey while they try to figure themselves out. So it's tough, but I enjoy Ruby a lot because, bro, it's got wonderful music, great animation. So that's why I'm still there, because the music is sensational, the animation is great, fighting scenes are cool. Like, it's watchable, no doubt. And for somebody that's seen it, you would definitely wow, this is fantastic. If they had started with this in 2011 or whenever the fuck it was, it would be a top fucking goated anime, because it's so good by comparison. But but no, Ruby's, like I said, Ruby's solid at this stage. Where are they at this stage? Basically, they're basically, Weiss has got them on the back foot again, and Blake and Yang, who were sentenced earlier to the hidden realm or banished realm or something, they are able to find a relic. And I don't ask me how, but fucking what's it called? Yang manages to go through a door to save John, and Blake smashes through the ceiling of the dream from the banished realm with her fucking white fang, and they start attacking as Ruby's about to get put down by Weiss, and that's how the episode ends. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I will say also, this story that's specifically telling about Weiss and being alone despite, and having pressures of family and things like that. I can appreciate and understand the story that they're trying to tell about, having the world, because she's a super rich girl, having the world, but being alone and things of that nature. They try to put that within the story, and I can appreciate that for what it's worth, I suppose. But yeah, no, it's super solid. Just it's tough to really comment on this stage about, per se, but trekking along there. Bakumatsu Bad Boys, it's a low-key sleeper. Bakumatsu Bad Boys is definitely a low-key sleeper. I don't remember where I left off last time from our last show, but basically, I think I do remember. The Shinsengumi, they the raid on the what's it called? On whatever, like the palace thing was. They no, I didn't hear about plastic. Gohan's new form was made of me. The motivation to achieve it didn't help. I disagree. But anyway, let's go back. Yeah, so they basically ban Ichiban Boshi. They put him in a jail cell awaiting his death. And the Shinsengumi have 3 days to rectify their mistakes, or they get disbanded. So Ichiban Boshi has a conversation with Sakuya, and Sakuya is basically saying you have to steel yourself. You have to you have to be the one to kill your brother. you know, like if not, then like you're worthless, da 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 da. He gets pissed off because Ichiban Boshi still wants to try and talk to his brother because he thinks like his brother is his old person, and Sakia, who's cold and heartless, is like, no, you can't do that. So he throws a rice bowl at him, but because of that, he inadvertently, because the pieces of the rice bowl shatter, he gives him a way to cut himself out of the fucking jail, as he's almost about to kill himself. He's like on the verge of like committing suicide to get it over with, and then he's like, oh wait, I have this shard, let me cut my way through like the you know, because this is back in the 14th century, so walls weren't necessarily made of like concrete and shit. So he cuts his way um out of jail, and he finds his way over to the his friend's sister, who what's it called, his friend like really adored. And he's like, listen, I gotta talk to you about your brother. And he tells her about her last moments, and the sister's resolved to kill, she knows that he killed her brother, so she tries to kill him. And Ichiban Boshi grabs the sword with his hand, which is always gangster. Like when you see somebody fucking grab a fucking sword or a knife with their hand, like knowing they're all cut and bleeding and shit. Like I cringe at it, but it's super gangster at the same time. So he cuts him and was like, listen, like I know you want to kill me. If you want to kill me afterwards, that's fine, but let's work together to restore honor to your name, because I know that your brother, like he loved you and he didn't want to like besmirch like your name, and let's restore his honor, da da da. So she agrees, she cooperates, tells him some information. Sakia manages to capture somebody during a raid on like this like shop, and they find a bunch of weapons that we find out later on were given to them by the masked demons. And so they managed to extract information from this guy, and they find out that that there's going to be a giant fire during like the town's, I think they're in Kyoto, during the town's great festival. That there's gonna be a fire. Ichiban Boshi comes through, finds out that there's gonna be a meeting amongst like all the people that are there at like XYZ place, somewhere in the city. And so they converge, and that's how that episode ends. The following episode comes, and basically they're prepared to kill Ichiban Boshi because he escaped prison and he's at fault. And he's like, listen, I don't care if you guys want to kill me afterwards, I'll commit seppuku if I have to, but I want to, you know, restore honor. I want to, you know, fix my brother or kill him, one or the other, da da da. And so the guy, Toto, he's like, you know what, I accept your honor and your resolve. Let's go ahead and let's do it. So they split the Shinsengumi into two groups. Sakia and his team, I'm sorry, not Sakia and his team, Ichiban Boshi and his team go over to the meeting place to fight the people at the meeting. Meanwhile, the Sakuya, Toto, and his group, they go over to a different part of the city to try and find like where the fire is going to happen. They manage to find it by they interrupt somebody. I guess they interrupt one of the mass demons, and they find like, oh, they have like fire like arrows and shit, and they find a map, and they compare the map. They're like, oh, the fire is going to happen in the dead center of town at a temple. So they go to the temple, but they're too late. An explosion happens and fire starts. So right, so they try to do what they can to like try and contain it or save people, but it's tough. Meanwhile, Ichiban Boshi and his team raid the office. They start fighting. Eventually, what's her name? Akira. Akira, she ends up talking to one of the other guys, and I forget his name now, but basically her informant. And her informant who was there was like, listen, you can't die. You're fit to be my wife, so don't die. And he kisses her and then escapes. And so they're trying to build like some sort of love interest between Akira and the love interest, despite the fact that the love interest is maybe an evil guy. Like he's definitely a tweener at this stage. So that's interesting from that standpoint, I guess. And so then finally the episode culminates with Sukito and Ichiban Boshi fighting in a courtyard, and Ichiban Boshi's still trying to talk to him, can't do it, like not getting through. And so he gets disarmed. He gets his sword disarmed, and as he's about to get sliced up by his brother, Toto jumps in, takes the slice, and then all the other Shinsengumi converge on the location, and Sukito escapes, so he doesn't get caught. And he says, oh, I'll let you live again. And so basically Toto doesn't die though, but he's out of commission, and he tells Ichiban Boshi like, yo, you have to lead the group. You know, you're a good leader, like you'll be fine, just, you know, it'll take some time, whatever, da da da. And so he passes out from, you know, blood loss, and he gets taken away. And so the rest of the episode, they battle the fire that started across the town. They do manage to put out the fire by morning time, but half the town is literally destroyed. And so the group were like, hey, all right, Ichiban Boshi, lead us, what are we going to do next? And he's like, all right. And he does his little hair thing where he makes a little mohawk with his hair, and he's like, "We're gonna fix everything up," and they're like, "Huh?" They're like, "Yeah, this is part of being the Shinsengumi. We're gonna fix everything up and help the town." Okay, and that's how the episode ends. But it's, I don't do a good job explaining it. I don't do it justice, but it really is like a low key sleeper. Like the art style is nice. The music is kind of cool. Fighting is kind of cool. Like there's something to it. Like it's kind of basic. It's definitely a 3 out of 5, but I dig it.
Okay, very good.
Boruto. Boruto's Boruto. They did some basically. Oh God, where do I even start with this? Basically, this week's Boruto, they are in the classroom and they start talking about these ghost stories called the Seven Mysteries of the Academy. And so Himawari is like, "Hey, let's go to the academy at night and see these mysteries," right? So they're all going to, and they're all excited. Kei, who is the girl that Kawaki is secretly trying to protect, doesn't go with them, and Kawaki's like, "Why didn't you go with them?" He's like, "I don't believe in that. You don't believe in that either. But you don't want to like let the kids, you know, not see something." So she arranged for her and her assistant, I guess you want to say, to fake the 7 mysteries and scare the kids. And so they do that throughout the episode. It's a little funny, can't lie. And then by the time they get to the final mystery, they see a real ghost, quote unquote, a real ghost, and it starts freaking everybody out, even Kawaki and Kei. They managed to track the ghost to the principal's room, to the faculty office, where they see a figure there that's crawling on the floor. They managed to corner the figure, and it's Shino Sensei cleaning with his bugs. So, it's cute, but yeah, it is what it is. Not the best arc they have for sure, as they continue to give us filler. Basically, hopefully, we'll get some action at some point that's worth the shit. Oh wait, I forgot the previous episode as well for Boruto, where basically Team 7 is.
I know we don't.
No, the previous episode of that. I'll just briefly highlight it. Boruto and Team 7 are special guest teachers, and they try to do a survivability training, which is good in thought. Where basically, like, hey, we have 10 hamburgers, and there's 20 students, and so the person who gets to keep the hamburger gets to eat, basically. So they talk about survivability because they're all hungry and they want the burgers. But then he's also trying to like share the point of teamwork and friendship, where if you split the burgers in two, everybody gets a piece of the burger, so everybody eats. But they don't think about that, and they get into a fight over a chocolate bar, and then they go on strike. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, My Isekai Life. Another solid episode. That was the one that I had just finished watching before we got on the air, Matt.
Right.
So the previous episode of My Isekai Life, basically, Yuji has to fight a fucking dragon, and he struggles a little bit with the dragon, but because he's fucking Yuji and he's overpowered as fuck, he manages to defeat the real dragon, which no one has ever done, it seems, in the entirety of the world, has defeated the dragon. But he's managed to defeat the dragon single-handedly, along with his slimes and his wolf. So that was cool. He gets a giant pearl magic stone from defeating the dragon, gives it over to the monster armor creator, and he creates a really like exquisite piece for Proud Wolf. And like, he is Usain Bolt fast, bro, going everywhere, which way, powerful as shit, like crazy. It's crazy. But he does manage to get some information from some people that he, I think, captured earlier in the episode. They mentioned the town, and I'm forgetting the town's name, but they mentioned the town. He goes over at the end of the episode to the guild, and he asks about the town, and the guild lady is like, "Hey, there is a like, the town isn't really popular. Like, there's something fishy and strange about the town, so you should be careful." Da, 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 da. So this episode, he gets to the town. Indeed, things are fishy and strange. He tails along like the guild master of there, and we basically find out that town is in cahoots with the protagonist. I'm sorry, the antagonist of the show, the Blue Moon Army, or whatever the fuck they're called. Blue Moon something, Blue Moon Group, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Not Blue Man Group, Blue Moon Group. Whatever. Some Blue Moon, some shit. Right? They're the antagonists. And so we find out that they're part of that, and not a real ghost. Anyway, so he tells them, finds that out, whatever. We find out that the leader of this Blue Moon group, his name is Walter. As he's listening in, we see the father who had given him the dagger earlier and whom he protected as well earlier in the season, because his name is Style. Style comes in and tells of a story with him and Walter and how they used to be close. They formed like this, I guess, like religious, like fighting, like missionary group that like would fight bad guys and whatever. And they grew in followers and all was well. One day, the priest Style receives divine word, and the divine word is break up your group. And he's like, I don't want to break up the group. Like, like these are all my closest people. Like, I want them to find salvation. Da 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 da. And then an attack happens and they all die. And we find out that, except for Style, they all die. And we find out that this attack was coordinated by Walter, who actually didn't like Style, despite the fact he was his right-hand man. So that was okay. And so we see the father Style basically tell Yuji, like, hey, you're like a destined prophet. You're supposed to save the world from a tainted light. Da 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 da. And he's like, all right, it is what it is. Meanwhile, the father's assistant, this guy, I forget his name now too, but he's like, why didn't you tell him the full prophecy, basically how you're supposed to die for him? And he's like, oh, because if I told him that, then he wouldn't fucking show up. So
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? So he does that. And meanwhile, we see Yuji, kind of contemplate like what he's gonna do, and he's like, all right, well, I'll ask the father in the morning. He goes over to the church again where the father was, and they're like, oh, the father's not here. So he asks the slimes, like, hey, have you seen the father? One of the slimes is like, yep, he left early in the morning in the woods. So they go after him, and you see the father basically find Walter's hideout along with his assistants. And so, as you heard when I was writing the story, he comes across like some of the followers and they're going to attack him, and he uses defensive magic to bolster him and his assistants. He uses like the divine power that he has as a messenger of God, and he uses some form of tai chi, no, not the wrestler, to defeat these guys single-handedly. Like, he's really solid. He defeats all these fucking guys until he gets to Walter, and he's going to fight Walter, and then his assistant turns on him. He finds out he's been working for Walter the whole time. And so we go through the spiel of like, oh, I'm going to kill you. I can't wait for the divine emissary, blah, 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 blah. Typical anime fucking trope bullshit. And then who do bust through? Fucking Yuji busts through, along with Proud Wolf and a couple slimes, and Walter and Yuji meet for the first time. So pretty solid. Pretty simple, I guess. So not bad. And then finally, one of my favorites of the season, one of my low-key favorites, Black Summoner. Not a white one, a black one. So the previous episode, as we mentioned, he what's it called? Kelvin and his group basically pretend to be the evil bandit group as known as the Black Wind. And so he ends up meeting the heroes and pretends like, yeah, I'm this evil guy. And so in a really cool fight, he fucking 1v1, so he 1v4s the heroes party. Kelvin versus the heroes party. So in any typical isekai anime, right, the heroes party is normally like, super powerful and they combine and they do well, right? Right? That's what's supposed to happen. No, Kelvin is so OP. He single-handedly, with hardly any effort, solos the heroes party. Solo defeats them. And they're trying. They even have to have like a pep talk of like teamwork, and they do better. And he still solos their ass. Just him. Not keeping in mind that he's got a bunch of OP fucking teammates himself, but just him solos him. And at the end, the beginning of the episode, basically they make a bet, and they're like, "Oh, loser has to do something that the other person does, right?" And they're like, "All right, whatever." So he loses, and he starts teaching them in order for them to get better. He starts teaching them how to do teamwork. Like, "Oh, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this." Oh, it worked, but I'm so OP it didn't work, and he defeats them. And so at the end, he tells them, after they wake up from unconsciousness, he tells them like, hey, I'm not really the fucking Black Wind. I'm Kelvin, whatever. And so they're like, oh, we apologize, whatever. So they start calling him like Shisho. They calling him master. And he's like, oh, we want to learn from you. Da, da, da. Like, okay, whatever. And he's like, well, we lost, so we're willing to do whatever you want. And so the episode ends with him saying, oh, okay, strip. And that's how the episode ends. So that was funny. They didn't actually strip though. So the next episode happens, and Kelvin starts training them on teamwork and things of that nature. They're better for sure, but they're not 100%. And so Kelvin and his group, while he's teaching them, they managed to I think it was Sarah, the the daughter of the demon lord who's in his party, manages to unearth a S tier dungeon dragon and defeats it no problem. That's how OP she is, that she's able to defeat S-class monsters no problem.
Right.
And so, they basically say, like, we'll be here for you, da da da, like, you're cool, blah blah blah, basic shit. Like, all right, whatever. So the heroes party departs to their next venue, and Kelvin leaves them with some pendants. And he's like, oh, just think of it as a token of our, our friendship. Oh, thank you so much. Da da da. So then we find out from his assistant Eiffel, like when he asked him, like, oh, that's nice you gave him the pendant. Like, oh, does it give them like anything extra? They're like, yeah, it gives them a very mild stat boost, and it gives them one other function that I hope we never have to use, which they basically insinuate, like, oh, it's going to be some sort of like teleportation, like out or in during their fight with the demon lord, something like that. That's probably what they basically just insinuated with that, but still, whatever. Kelvin, for his part, the entire reason why he's in this town, he ended up meeting the fucking adventurers anyway, as we mentioned, is he wanted rice, because there's no rice in any other town but this coastal town. So he receives word that the king, or the ruler of the kingdom of this town, wants to see him. So we see the kingdom. They arrive to the castle, and the castle's in old Japanese. They're like, oh, like really old, like old school Japanese. And he's like, oh, this looks really like Japanese. And they find out that the first ruler of this nation was summoned from Japan. Like, oh, that makes sense. So they go in, they meet the ruler, and everything is very Japanese. Like, they got like the sliding doors, they got tatami mats, all of that, right?
Right.
And so he walks in, sees the ruler. The ruler is a woman named I forget her first name, but her last name is Fujiwara, right? Not from Love and War, not that Fujiwara, but Fujiwara nonetheless. And so she's like, hey, you can have anything within my power, money, fame, status, land, name what you want. And he's like, I just want rice. Just me and my crew, just make us a grand feast. And she starts laughing, and she's like, oh, I expected so much more, like, and then she's like, oh, were you testing me to see like if you like I was a greedy son of a bitch? Not literally like that,
Yes.
but like that. And she's like, no, not at all. And then she's like, okay, no problem. She's like, I'll give you rice. She's like, I'll give you a lifetime supply of rice. If you ever run out of rice, send me a letter. We'll send you more rice. And it's significant because rice doesn't, like we said, doesn't leave this town. And so for Kelvin to get and his crew to get rice, it was pretty cool. And so Eiffel, who's his maid and slave, also has tier S cooking and learns how to cook Japanese style. So he starts eating Japanese lunch like onigiri and things of that nature. And the queen tries to basically flirt with Kelvin and be like, hey, why don't you work for me? No, we're okay. Hey, why don't you be my lover? And you don't have to leave. Like, no, I'm okay. He just wants to go back home. He wants to go back home. So he goes home. And I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but when Kelvin gets home, he buys a house. Isekai and buying house. That was the theme this week, it seemed. Anyway, so he buys a house. Everyone's all excited, and that's how the episode basically ends, with him going back home, buying the house, and then everybody's all cool. But no, this is, like I said, it's a legit sleeper. I'm close. I don't know, man. Like I've given a lot of shows their ratings already, and I don't know where I'm at with it, because like I really, really like it, but I don't know if I really, really like it to the point where I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't know. It's still debating. And I'm done.
That's it for you.
That's it for me. I took all of 3 minutes, maybe something like that.
Yeah, about 25 minutes.
All right. No plastic cock talk.
All right. No more plastic cock. All right. I'll try to make this.
Man, that sounds like some berserk level stuff. What does? Please.
Probably Black Summoner.
9:34. Yeah. No, that was 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, you were talking for Black Summoner for like 2 episodes.
Did I? I don't know if it's 8 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
All right. The maid I hired recently is mysterious. It's an athlete episode. as Ethan throws his shit.
Technical difficulties, guys.
It enraged him so much he broke his microphone.
Yeah, this would have been perfect. I was talking about Boruto. But I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Hey, that wasn't my microphone. That was my stand of all things.
Well, yeah. Well, something dropped overall as soon as I mentioned.
Yeah, that was a piece of the ring light.
Even your equipment's like, fuck this show.
Seriously, dude. Keep talking.
Yeah, it's basically fucking Yuri. He's traded. He's getting ready for this thing. He's not an athlete. He's not good at sports.
Sports
So
and
Lilith, what?
Sports and sports and sports.
Yes. So Lilith is kind of like a cheerleader to motivate him. You do a Top Gun 80s homoerotic montage. Yes, but not as gay or as manly as Top Gun. I know.
But we need the Joy Ryan mustache.
Exactly, right? Fuck him. But yeah, that was the first half of it. The second half of it is that basically Yuri tells Liv to wear something comfortable for this because he wants her there. And she wears something comfortable under her maid outfit, that type of ordeal. Yuri does fine. And then you find out it's like a parental race, a parent or guardian race. That's why Lilith is in that. She won the thing. And the kid's like, hey, why'd you have your maid do that? What is she to you? And then Yuri's like, oh, she's family. Fuck you. She ain't just a maid. That was it.
Cool.
That was it. Yeah, cool. Moving on. It's just not that good.
Didn't you binge like something to watch? Didn't you binge the first couple seasons to get to this?
The maid I hired?
Yeah.
No, it took they took a week off when I was away. There was another episode, but I'm not gonna talk about it.
All right.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on, baby. All right, let's see. Which one next? Oh, the one I reviewed on Netflix, Tekken Bloodline.
Oh, yeah, that's the one you should have started off with, dude.
Yeah, I should have. But
no,
this was the 6 episodes, 10 minutes. It was basically the retelling story of Tekken 3. So the main focus is Jin Kazama, which is basically his debut in the game. And yeah, you get his backstory of what he did during this. Basically, he was trained by his mother, Jun Kazama, learning the Kazama style and not the Mishima way, which is his dad, Kazuya, and then the grandfather, Hayachi. Until a monster named Ogre showed up. And...
Boy, that sounds familiar. A monster named Ogre. Baki, anybody?
It's Shrek. What are you doing in my swamp?
Donkey!
Donkey! No, but he didn't find Donkey. He found a woman and a child.
Donkey and ass!
Anyway, yeah, June fights the ogre. She gets her ass handed to her. She dies. Before she dies, she tells Jin to go to find Hayachi to trade him to fight ogre. Hayachi basically makes Jin a jobber the whole time. Fucking collapse him right away. Just boom, gut.
Oh shit!
All this shit. Try and train him.
He's in my hand.
And then, basically, to do another montage. About a year later, Jin is basically ready. So Hayachi promotes the King of Iron Fist tournament. So him, Ling Xiaoyu, Horang, Paul, King, all your favorites. King's the luchador. And he does fucking good. He's a finalist, and so is Jin. And then Jin finds out more about King. You're muted.
I said, who's better, him or Ray Phoenix?
Well, King's a heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so no, King doesn't botch and injure himself, so I'll go with King.
I'm done.
He's done. But you find out it wasn't the original King because the original King died fighting Ogre. But this King is someone that was in the orphanage that King like donated charity and stuff like that.
Hijo de King.
Yes. El Hijo de King.
El Hijo de Rey.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, though.
Pretty much, yeah.
El Hijo de Rey.
Yeah, so basically, and he's basically doing his tournament to raise money for the orphanage he grew up in, because he basically what King is doing.
Aww.
Yeah. So Jin fights him, Jin beats him, and he goes to check on King. He tells him the money's yours. Like I don't want anything to do with it. So is that because he wants to fight Ogre, so.
And he bought strippers and coke with it instead.
Stop it! No, he ain't Conan.
But when's the time from? 80s? Definitely strippers and coke.
This is like late 90s. So
okay, so we're beyond the Shenmue.
Yeah, so it's hard. This is rock and roll rebellion phase or wacky 90s shit.
The shit that inspired Chris Jericho. Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, it turns out Heihachi was the one that released Ogre because he wants to learn about the devil gene that his son has and not him. But basically, it's his fault that Jin's mother died and all this.
Rip.
Yep. So here comes Ogre. Jin transforms to the devil Jin, kills Ogre, and then when that fight's done, Heihachi shoots him in the head.
Rip.
But he's alive because again the devil gene. So he fucking tackles Heihachi, knocks him the fuck out, and flies away. That's it.
That sounds kind of bad.
Let's play the games.
Yeah, I was gonna. You know what? There's something about like gaming, anime, like adaptations to games. It just doesn't hit.
Right.
You know? What's up, puppy? My cat came over. What's up?
But I give it 3.
Love me. That's what's up. Like a low 3 or a mid 3?
Yeah, like a low 3. Again, I liked it for the lore. Fights were okay. It was another CG anime, but it was okay.
Okay. As long as you don't regret watching it, that's all that matters.
But again, it was just 6 episodes, so
as long as you don't regret watching it, that's all that matters.
No, I definitely don't. No Isekai OG signed this week because we had a couple weeks off, and the new episode doesn't air until Wednesday.
I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
I am so, but I guess one less thing to talk about. So
hey, there we go. Save time.
All right, Shadow's House season 2.
Yeah, one of your faves.
This picked up. I am glad this picked up.
All right, so it's not so cute
because I wasn't. I still enjoy it, but it's like it was missing.
Was it more cute? It's more cute this season, right?
It's more slice of life ish. Like there's not a lot of mystery there, and there's definitely not that dark vibe, like, especially when Edward showed up during the whole debut thing.
I don't know, man. I still get dark vibe. I would say. Because I don't know.
It's still.
I haven't heard about this season, but you know.
It's still there, but it's not the focus of it. But the atmosphere is still there. The atmosphere is still enjoyable for it. Before that, though, Patrick, the Shadow, he has a crush on a doll. Aww. He has a crush on Miliko, and we don't know. And we don't know the Shadow love. Can a Shadow like a doll?
Do shadows blush?
No. The dolls do it for them. Basically, whatever the shadow says or however they act, the doll emotes for them. Like they'll make the faces for them. They'll make the expressions for them. That's all the doll does when they're accompanying the shadow. So
weird.
It is weird. It was also interesting. But yeah, the main thing for these like episodes is finding out the Master Road, the one that's like sabotaging everything. That's the main goal. That's what Kate's trying to do. She's trying to find out who this thing is. And we saw before, like there was these 2 dolls that were tortured with the water and all this going to the suits and then basically drowning. But Kate realized that there's a different scent on them. It was like a perfume type scent. And like someone else, like basically, is this how it is with their sets? Like, but why for something like this? Like someone's hiding something. And then the Master Robe had a different scent. It was perfume. But eventually, Kate's talking to the other dolls, and they have a meeting to meet the Master Robe. And they meet at midnight in this hidden room. And then Kate's talking about, how like she has memories of like everything beforehand. Like before, like this, like all this is not new to her. It's like she recycled her life in a sense. We're trying to figure out what the hell is that about. So that's why she knows everything about the house. She knows the higher ups. She knows the star bearers. but she was hiding all of that from everyone else. And then what do you call it? Master Robe was like, "Oh yeah, you basically used everyone," is what you're saying. Just to get all this info about everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the other shadows, John's like, "Oh no, I still love her and all this shit. Like we were all willing to help her. Fuck you." All that was going on, and again, everyone thought the Master Rub was Christopher, but it's not. But it's not him. It's Mary Rose, one of the other higher ups, one of the other star bearers. I thought it was Barbie Shadow, but no, it was what Barbara. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought it was Barbara, but no, it was Mary Rose. And once she revealed herself, we get next episode. Like, damn it. So I did like that. It was very nicely done. You want some complicated shit?
No, because every time you tell me about Classroom of the Elite, it's just fucking math. It's just math. There's no. That's all it sounds like. Anime math. Like, what the fuck?
There's a lot of strategy for this. We basically get in these three. I even watched today's episode. Basically, these past 3 episodes is Kushida's backstory. Not Time Splitter. Calm down. And like why she hates Suzune. But before that, though, Suzune's brother Manabu, he stepped down as student council president. I guess he's graduating soon. So I guess that's why he's doing it.
He said, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, no. So he was just like, "I'm stepping down. Thank you guys for everything. Here's this guy. He's the guy that's replaced me. I forgot his name, so I didn't care. Probably." And then the teacher talks about the next test. Basically, they're going to do a practice quiz, and wherever the score is, they're going to be paired with someone else for like an average. And for the final test, if you score below the average, you're both expelled.
Okay.
So Suzune's plan is basically a group of people will do their best. 2 will be in the middle, and then 1 get bad answers. That way, they'll balance it out, so everyone can get a secure grade. So that is the plan for it. And then once they reveal that plan, she talked to Ayana Koji, and she was telling like how she knows Kushida. Apparently, there was a rumor going around that Kushida caused a riot in the school in the middle school that they were in.
How
and,
so?
I'm going to get to that. Basically, we go to the next episode. Suzune talks to Kushida and says, "I want to place a bet with you. If you score higher than me in this test or in the average, I will be expelled like you want me to. But if I win, you leave me the fuck alone. Like, you don't have to go after me anymore. Like, we're done." And it's like, "Oh yeah, well, you got a witness who's gonna say, hey, we agreed to this." Yeah. As Suzune brings in her brother Manabu, the former student council president, because he still has pull. So he heard everything. It's like, okay, so this is what's gonna happen. You guys will do this. If you guys fuck up, there's consequences for both of you. So you both better not go back on your word. So he leaves. Then Kushida says, "Oh yeah, Ayana Koji, I know you're hearing me over the phone." Because Suzune had him on speaker, so he can listen in. So I was like, "Okay, well, no, come meet us. Come meet us outside."
3-way. Just kidding.
Yeah. And then so she adds more to the bet. Says, "If I win, not only are you expelled, Ayana Koji's gone too." And Suzune says, "No, like I'm not doing that. I'm not risking him just because you hate me." And then Ayana Koji says, "Okay, I'll do it, but you gotta tell us what you did there. Like what actually happened in that middle school. Like he's curious. Like, he wants to know." So basically, Kushida was a girl that was praised by everyone, loved compliments, loved like all of that, like any other kid. And in middle school, she didn't get much of that unless she like was being friendly with them, did stuff for them, all that to get compliments.
She was a gopher.
Yeah, she just loved compliments, and whenever she didn't get them, she would hide in a blog anonymously, revealing secrets of everyone that she talked to.
Oh, what a piece of shit!
Yeah, and then
I saw your meme. I think was it your meme or somebody else's meme?
it
It
was
said
mine.
like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it was what actually happened. Yeah,
like this girl's a piece of shit. Like you
yeah,
would
she's a
never
fucking
know."
sociopath, and yeah, and everyone caught on,
Yeah.
and they confronted her in the classroom, and
Mm,
then she kept saying stuff, making them turn against each other. So then all those students were all fighting back and forth, and she was just enjoying it. She just someone that just loved praise and attention.
she loved chaos. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
What a sick bitch. She makes mommy don't look that bad.
Yeah. Also, Ryuyen, the guy from Class C, because he found out now the mastermind's not Suzune, is could be. He says it might be down to two people. So he went to the people that were bullying the girl K in the previous episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and he abused the shit out of one of them. It's like, so who leaked shit to other classes? And he just grabbed her head, like slammed her down the desk.
Fucking domestic violence.
Yeah, and then like, I'll forgive you. Just confess. That's all you got to do.
That's like good cop, bad cop shit.
Yeah, yeah. And then you who knew about all this? And yeah, and this girl said either K or Ayana Koji.
Someone
Like,
said, "Ethan, I see your pussy."
and then the Ryu's like, okay, all right, I see his game. And then yeah, and then Ryu sent an email to Ayana Koji saying like, "Who are you?" Because it would just come up as Mastermind, not his actual name.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the latest episode where the test is happening. Before that, though, one of the classmates had to go submit a test to the class, like to the next class for the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like submit questions from another class to give to them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the subject is math. That's what Kushida chose for the thing because that's what she's good at. So Ryuyen gives Kushida a piece of paper with their questions, the answers. That way she could do it. That way she could basically beat Suzune. So she goes to the teacher, drops it off. It's like, okay. Then we go to the test. We see the questions. They're not the ones she sent in.
Mm.
So she's pissed off. And then she confronted Ryu, said, like, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, she had you, like, don't look at me. She had you played the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out what happened. And Suzune told the teacher, I'm the only one that's going to send you questions. If anyone else tried to, don't. Like, they have to be approved by me. Because Suzune is the class rep.
Power? How do you have the power to change?
Doesn't make Suzune is the class rep. She's like, she talked to the classroom. Like, they all agreed to it. That's why she told her teacher.
Mm.
So it was like, okay, basically, since Kushida put hers in, it wasn't approved by Suzune. So I was like, gotcha. Yeah, then Koji's like, yeah, I didn't need to help. So like when he was talking to Kay, he's like, no, she did it all on her own. Didn't have to step in.
Mm-hmm.
But you find out he actually did step in. He talked to Ryu saying, what are you going to do? Like, either you're going to give her the fake answers to manipulate her, or you give her the real thing. Your call. What do you want to do? So he got played, and he gave Kushida the fake ones.
Mm.
And yeah, so all that to get her set up. And now Ryuyen is actually going to go after the girl now, Kei. And he sent that message to Ayana Koji. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, she's next type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now Ryuyen and Ayana Koji are still doing their cat and mouse game. So it's like what the fuck, guy? Well, first Kushida's a bitch. And just how far does Ayana Koji plan his shit?
Pretty far, apparently.
Yeah, that's like, holy crap. It's like, goddamn, no way. All right. Main event, summertime.
Yeah, buddy.
I got upset. I was like, God damn it.
Really?
Another death.
Another death?
Permanent. Okay. We'll go 2 episodes because we kind of had to for this one. Basically, we go where we left off. Shinpei looped. Ushio's dead. And what you call it? Shide and Hain are right there. They're about to go. They summon all these shadow creatures. They're about to go kill him, but Hain stops. But like I don't know, so they think Ushi's alive or something like that. We don't know. So they retreat for now. They pull him. Okay, so he's not gonna die. So basically, if they killed him right there, Shinpei would have been dead because he's basically on that cliff before his next loop. And since it was that quick, it's gonna go past him. So they had a chance to kill him. So all that's going on, and then you see Shinpei calling Mio, Hizuru, Nezu, basically the whole group in two separate phone calls. Say one meet me over there, the other one meet me here. And it turns out it was basically Hain telling them this because she copied Shinpei's body. So Shinpei doesn't know anything that's going on right now. So he's trying to call them, like no service, no nothing like that. So Mio and So they go to this wilderness and they see Shide there, the four-armed shadow guy. So it's like shit. And then you see Hizuru, Nezu, the cop, Tokiko. They see Hain. So Hizuru is fighting Hain and another Shine. So all that's going on, and Hizuru is still not recovered after being shot in the shoulder from the last fight, and her arm's messed up, like she pulled muscles in her arm. And again, she's carrying a big giant sledgehammer the whole time trying to fight these things. So she's definitely gonna rep something. And basically, with like her brother, like in him, he's the one that predicts like 2 seconds ahead. But with Hain there and Shide there, it's useless. So Hizuru like fights as herself for this one to help out the brother, and she does well for a bit. Like she even gets to knock off his weapon, and eventually her body starts giving out. And then the brother starts to fight back with them. And that doesn't go over well. We go to the other side. Shinpei sees Shadow Mio nailed to the ground, but it was because the original Mio did that because they thought since she was dead, she was going to turn. But that wasn't the case. So what Shinpei got the call says, you got to save one of them. You got to save Mio or you got to save Hizuru.
Why do I have to choose?
Yeah. So he goes to Mio. And then you see Shide there. He's like, oh, yeah, you're late, right? All's going on. It's like, oh, yeah, they're already being devoured downstairs by the other shadows. No big deal. So Shadow Mio cuts that Shide's head off. And then, yeah, he's gone. And we go to the other side. Hizuru talks to Hain and Shide. And then Hizuru says something that triggered Hain. Says, "How do you know Shide is gonna agree with your plan of going back home? How do you know that's what he actually wants?" Like I heard him talk about it, and then Hain glared at Shide. It's like, "What's she talking about?" Like, he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. She's manipulating us, trying to get us to turn against each other." Then Hain just actually has his glare, so like,
You don't say.
Yeah, that type of thing. What you call it? Then Shinpei has to loot because everyone's dying. And he thinks Hizuru's not dead yet, by the way. So, but he still says he has to loot because Mio and the other guy are dead. So he shoots himself. They're back where they were. He quickly goes to Shadow Mio like right away. Goes to them, saves them like before they get there. And they go back to where Hizuru and everyone else is. And then Shide's like, "Oh, I'm glad you loot because you made this fight with her a lot easier because now I was able to kill her." Like you see Hizuru on the ground stabbed for the chest with his giant weapon. And I'm like, no. And everyone's trying to fight him off. It's not going well, but Hain tells Shide to retreat. Hizuru is coughing up blood and all this. And in her last moment, she lets her brother's conscience go into Shinpei. That way the brother can help them out.
Mm-hmm.
And she dies. I'm like, no, like my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Sad face.
So yeah, so first Ushio, now her. And I really feel like Shide is the real villain and not Hane.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Hane just wants to go home, but Shide wants something else.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's been living this whole life for like hundreds of years. So yeah, I think he just wants to kill everyone. But yeah, we got five more. Sorry, we got 5 more to go.
You know what's crazy? I was just looking at like some of my anime, and I was like, "Oh, we have 5 more to go, 4 more to go," and I was like, "That's not that much." But then, like, it just feels like forever until it comes, and it's like that wasn't forever at all.
Yeah, no, it's a long season, and we'll again hopefully falls later.
Moral of the story: don't fall in love with any women in fucking summertime rendering; they'll die.
Like, yeah, fuck. Do I have to give Shide antagonist of the season, or what the fuck?
Man, I can't. I keep hoping like they're gonna put on Disney Plus. They're gonna put on Disney Plus. They're gonna put on Disney Plus. I shouldn't hold my breath, but goddamn,
I don't think they will.
They better. They better.
I hope they do too. But all right, I'm done. Let's go together.
That's how I feel right now.
Yep. Like I said, we'll try to get through these as much as we can because the last 4 we're gonna focus on mostly.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with the etchies.
Alrighty, let's go with Vermeil first.
It's getting cute.
It's still not great, but it's still fine.
It's the best story of the etchies.
I will say that, yeah.
It is the best story. It's better than fucking Harem. It's better than fucking Stepmom. Is Stepmom even etchy at this stage? It's not even.
It's
really
not. It's just a rom com.
It's not etchy. It's just a rom com.
It's a rom com. No, it's not even a harem. It's just a rom com.
It's just a rom com. It's an okay rom com, but
I like the new girl though.
Isana.
Yeah, the one that got rejected. Yeah, we'll get to her.
We'll get to her. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I like her though.
I do too. We'll get to that. Anyway, yeah, dude. Vermeil. What the fuck happened in Vermeil?
The student councils could they
Yes.
Alto.
Yes, that is right. That is right.
Basically, and we're also seeing our main. We also get to know who our main villain is.
I always forget their name. What's their fucking name?
Which one?
The main villain.
Is it Marcus?
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is that he's a former, like he was a Platinum Square. They got kicked out of the Platinum Square group. That's all I know. That's all I remember of him. Like he's super like gangster. He kills people like without a hesitation.
Yeah, he was the one that was controlling that paper.
No, he was not with the one.
He's not. Okay.
It was the woman. There's a woman that we meet. So basically, there's I don't know. I wouldn't call it a harem, but there's like a group of Platinum Squares. And so he's got the one woman who's a witch, who's a Platinum Square. And then you end up seeing this other woman. And she's the one who controls the paper crosses or whatever the fuck, the paper people, whatever you want to call them. She's the one that controls them.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 3 Platinum Squares so far in that group. And we don't know why they're evil. One of them, there's 3 Platinum Squares. One of them was kicked out by whatever governing body is.
I'm trying to look for their names.
Yeah, I don't ever remember any of their fucking names ever.
They don't really say them.
They do. They don't say them out loud. They said it once. They said like each of the names is once. Like I remember distinctly there was a display of the person's name. And then that's it. They don't ever really say the other person's name. And then they said this in this last episode. They said the woman who controls the paper people. They said her name at the beginning, and then that was it. Like it was like Charinthian or some shit. I don't know.
Was it Pharynx?
I don't fucking know, dude. I really don't.
Anyway, we got them, and when the student council knows about Vermeil being a demon.
Yes. And Vermeil also now, or not Vermeil, Alto now knows what the student council looks like in their bra and panties.
Yeah, this episode was just fluff mostly.
It was a lot of
While trying to get us hyped up for the next vid.
it was
As
a lot
far
of
as
fun. Well, do you want to
and
talk about the previous episode? Because I mean, there's some significance there with that one. In terms of he gets basically at the end of the episode, he gets threatened to join the student council and to tell the secret for the fact Vermeil's a demon.
yeah,
But before that, basically we get so the episode kind of starts off with Vermeil and Alto being weird with each other because, like, you know, of all the events that happen. Vermeil asked for some space from Alto. Alto said sure, no problem. And Vermeil just kind of just like on her doing her own thing. She's by a beach somewhere. And then what's her name? Lilia? Is it Lilia?
Lilia, yes.
Yeah, Lilia ends up meeting with her and she's like, "Oh, Alto told me you're a demon." And then, you know, she's like, "Oh, who cares? Whatever. It's how you guys feel about each other, blah, 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 blah." Basically gave her a pep talk that, like, you know, shit's okay. You know what I'm saying? As long as you love Alto, then
Like
you're
I don't hate you or anything.
yeah, I don't hate you. Like, you're cool, whatever. You saved his
I'm
life.
just jelly as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just jelly as fuck. You have humongous titties and you've got the fuck my
and you
man.
give
Right.
and you give him a blowjob.
I wish every woman fucking had a smiley face after they're done fucking forcing themselves on you.
Yes.
Like, gleam and shine. And then you're just like doom and gloom, like, oh, my cum came out. But no, no, so that was cool. And then they end up having a conversation. Alto and Vermeil have a conversation, and they basically just reaffirm their feelings. And they kiss again without sucking mana from each other, like it's a legitimate feelings thing. And you know, I'm really happy. Like at first, I was like, oh, don't tell me the fucking girl's gonna like get her man. Like Lilith's gonna get fucking Alto, and Vermeil kind of just gets shunned. Like no, it's like Alto and Vermeil are basically gonna fall in love for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah,
is really nice.
they're connected to each other.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, because through the heart, like, oh, those genuine feelings. Like, I wanted space, but I couldn't think of anything but you. Things like that. That was adorable. But no, we get more oomph there. And then, like I said, at the end of the episode, they basically get called into the student council's office, and they're forced to tell the student council Vermeil is a demon, and they basically kind of get coerced into joining the student council. And as Matt said, basically the other episode, the rest of this last episode that passed is a lot of fluff. Like I said, we get to see some ecchi shit. We see a lot of ecchi shit actually. And we see basically the episode ends with them basically going to do their bronze square test, like Vermeil, Alto, Lilia, and then the two other companions. I can get their names. I think they're a part of that thing here.
Which one?
They're two companions, Showery and Marks. So
Okay.
they all go to their square test, their bronze square test, and the bronze square test is basically you have to fill, like, through a barrier, you have to fill this like thing up with mana, which is completely fine because Alto's got like fucking crazy mana thanks to Vermeil.
Yep.
But of course there's more that meets the eye. It's not just that easy of a test. And so that's where the episode ends, coming into tomorrow's recording. Well, we're recording today for tomorrow's show, but yeah.
But no, good. It was an all right episode.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I said, I enjoy the story. I enjoy
It's a good story. I just want to get to the meat of the matter. Like I'm trying to get to the more.
Yeah, you want more action, which is fine because the action's not bad when you get the action.
It was not. I want to know more about the villains.
Yeah, I would like.
I don't want to be like only the last two episodes.
This doesn't seem like one of those shows though that's going to give you a lot of depth. You know, there's not a lot of depth in these characters. Like, how did Alto? Like, what was Alto like? What was Lilia like? We see a little bit of. Oh, we do see a little bit of.
Yeah, as a younger.
Younger Vermeil, and then we also see Alto basically dream about. I guess, is that like a spirit of some kind that comes in his dream and is like,
I guess,
like, you know, the person you love, like, you'll have two choices with the person you'll love. You'll have one of justice and positivity, and you said that one is your path, and then the other choice is you take her path, and her path is full of like wickedness and evil and destruction. Like, which path will you choose? And then he wakes up from the dream, and he ends up going to bed, and then they end up doing some more ecchi shit, whatever. So there's bits and pieces that will be explained, but at the same time, this doesn't feel like a show that's going to give you a lot of depth toward that, which is a shame because there's a lot of potential amongst the ecchi. You could really build out the fucking anime and really kind of go with different elements with it. I definitely want to see Alto use something else besides ice magic. Like, he just uses the same ice move all the time.
Like maybe that's the strongest. You don't know.
I know it's his strongest. Clearly, like he does the ice shots to his hands, and he does like the ice.
Do your lightning or shit. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to see him do something different, you know. But like Vermeil just has super strength and can turn into some fucking crazy beast when she's fully unleashed. But yeah. Give me more.
All right, moving on. Cuckoos.
Weird.
It is weird.
It is weird.
Like, how did Erica forget to put something?
How do you forget to bring Pantsu?
And not realize like hours later. Hours.
And you know what's funny? When fucking what's her face? I forget her name now.
Hiro?
Huh?
Which one, Erica or
Segawa? Segawa was like, "Oh, you can go a day without wearing underwear." Like, "Oh, pray tell."
No, Hiro, no. She might be a shrine maiden, but she's probably kinky.
She probably is kinky. I tell you what. Anyway,
but yeah, it was basically a study, like a getaway study thing,
which they did none of. It was originally supposed to be.
And Sachi was sick.
Yeah, Sachi was supposed to go originally, and then she got sick. She ended up going to the hospital, because she was so sick. And so they replaced her
in Japan. Yeah, you go. If you got a fever, you go to the hospital.
Fever equals emergency room.
Yeah. And then
they replaced her with the worst character in the fucking show.
His
name Shion?
Shion.
Oh, Shion. I thought it was a Dion.
Or Asuma.
I don't know.
But he's Inosuke. He's basically Inosuke.
He's the worst character in the show. He's not as bad as fucking annoying ass fucking the girl from Komi.
Right.
Not as bad as her, but still a shitty character. But no, yeah, I mean, basically, it becomes an episode, kind of like it's a semi-confessional episode, where we see Hiro and what's his face, Nagi. Yeah. Nagi get close. They get closer. They flirt a little bit more. Like there's definitely some sort of like there's feelings there.
Segawa definitely wants him.
Yeah, Segawa definitely is.
And I hope it isn't.
It's not gonna be though.
It should be though.
You know what? After the end of the reveal, it could be Segawa.
Right? And yeah. Then
did you see Sean? Did you see Sean's thing that he thinks that it's going to be Sachi?
No, stop. No.
He said that, yeah, and his little spoiler comment he put like he thinks it's going to be Sachi.
No, hell no. She has done nothing. The development has been clearly Segawa.
It has to be Segawa, right?
Yeah, right. It's either her or Erica.
What if you went with Sachi? Where does that put the anime?
Oh god, I'll give that a 3.
Oh,
they went all the chromo.
They went full chromo.
Well, I guess they would have Erica.
Yeah, because apparently all right, you know what? Let's just skip to the fucking end. So basically,
yeah, because nothing else really happens if Erica go commando.
Yeah, so basically, fucking Erica tells Nagi like, "Hey, I'm commando." They go to a convenience store, so she gets some pantsu. They go back to the shrine. They have a somewhat of a conversation about, like, I wish things could stay like this, like married. No, not really. Like, their own little like flirting. Meanwhile, Segawa figures out that that Shion really likes Erica and wants to help him confess to her.
Yeah.
But because she has her own reasons for doing that. And then basically Sachi, like I say, ends up going to the hospital. Nagi gets worried, runs over to the hospital, takes the last train over there. They end up breaking camp early, and the episode ends with kind of interestingly.
The father, yeah.
Erica's father comes over to the beach house and says, I just came to pick up this bomb I left. Huh? And then we see the bomb is the picture that at the beginning of the previous episode, Erica puts down. So we see Erica poolside texting her father, why did you put that picture there? And Nagi comes out and he's frustrated because he feels like every time he gets closer with a woman, he gets embarrassed and he like comes up like on the short end of the stick. And so he's like, you said a while ago, he confronts Erica and he's like, listen, you said a while ago that you want to reach someone, like your ultimate goal of this like whole thing is to reach someone. Who is that person? And Erica's like, have you prepared yourself? And he goes, yeah. And so that's where the teaser leaves off. Before that, though, as we see them like having that confirmation of the conversation that's about to take place, we see what the pictures entail because it's grayed out. Like at first you don't see the picture at all, then it's blanked out, like censored out,
Yep.
and then you see the picture, and it's the same picture that we see at the beginning of the core, where it's what's it called? Where it's Eric, it's what's it called? Nagi's birth parents, and there's Nagi as a young child and Erica as a young child. And so as they said, it's the cuckoo egg, as the father said. And so it's quite weird because of that picture. So perhaps they were long lost childhood friends, maybe some bout of amnesia, maybe amnesia. Somebody got dropped on their head and forgot. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's some crazy scientific thing going on. That would be pretty cool if it was like some scientific twist where they got like altered as children or something. But that probably won't happen. So I mean, there's various places you can go with it, but it is quite odd. All we know is that Matt and I definitely want Sagawa to win.
Exactly. Well,
I don't like her hairstyle though. Not a fan of her hairstyle.
It grew on me.
Then it's not doing much growing because it's still short.
I mean, you're right.
I'm just saying, man. So weird, but it's still interesting. It's losing me though. Like before, like I would like, oh man, this is so hot. It's so hot. Like hot, like it's a good anime, not hot like sexual, but like hot, like it's a really good anime. And like as the series has progressed, it's definitely faded some for me.
They slowed down a little.
They have,
but I hope soon they'll pick back up.
Because they haven't delivered any major, like this is the first episode I would say in a while.
Yeah, like they're really toying this cuckoo thing.
They're toying with the cuckoo thing, and we're not getting any sort of satisfactory conclusion with the harem.
Yeah, because Sachi is just still in the background.
Sachi's still in the background, and it's weird because they're fucking brother and sister.
Yeah, it's just Erica and Sagawa.
Erica took her turn where it's like, oh, like we want it to be Erica, and then Sagawa. This in the last couple episodes, like it has to be Sagawa. So
yeah, like it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, rent the girlfriend. Fucking Ruka.
I don't want to talk about this fucking show. You can talk about the show.
All right, Kazuya's birthday. So what you call it? The grandmother calls. The Gmail calls. Calls Kazuya, says, "Oh yeah, we're doing your normal birthday thing. You want this? You want that? Is Chizuru coming?" He's like, shit. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, so let's go with He talks to Chizuru. Says, oh, yeah, my grandmother, it's my birthday, and grandma. Yeah, Chizuru's fucking cold. If anytime she talks to Kazuya, I get it, but still, I get he's an asshole. He's a terrible person. Is this how she talks to? I guess is this how she talks to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
I just puts on this unresting bitch face.
Perma bitch face.
Perma bitch face. We're at the next day. It's the birthday. It's a midnight. Ruka calls Kazuya saying, "Happy birthday." Like, oh yeah, I know. They see like she was crying that she couldn't go to the birthday. Like, oh yeah, go to my family's house. It's nice. Oh yeah, is Chizuru going to be there? Shit, I said that out loud. So Ruka hangs up the phone. We go to the morning. She's outside. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going with you to the thing. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a disaster. We go there. What you call it? Chizuru tells Kazuya that she's gonna be late because again, visiting the grandmother. I'll be there. Like, oh, she'll be there like 6 o'clock. And then what you call it? So Ruka uses this opportunity to get close to the grandmother, gets close to the family. They're slowly starting to like her, but the grandma keeps talking about Chizuru. This pisses off Ruka.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out Chizuru first she couldn't make it because the grandma's not doing well. And Ruka's like, oh yeah, this is my chance. And then Chizuru talks to the grandma, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm supposed to go to this party. Like, oh, get up, I healed, I miraculously recovered. You get the fuck over there. You go right now. And then that happens. She comes over, and she already overshadows Ruka, Says hi to everyone, has a gift thing, wants to pay respects to the shrine because Ruka didn't do that. Clean up the lipstick covered thing. All that's going on. Kazuya takes a step outside. Well, in the hallway, he sees Ruka there. She pulls him in for a kiss. He's all flustered. Did Chizuru get a phone call during this, or was that in the preview?
Preview.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, preview is she gets a phone call. She looks upset, so I guess the grandma dies. We'll see.
No, I didn't see the preview.
Yeah, like oh, but yeah, that was that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Now I'm interested in that episode.
Yeah.
It's just so cringe.
I know it's very fucking cringe.
I dread. This is a show that I dread watching, but I'm committed to the cause and I watch it.
Right.
That's horrible. You shouldn't feel that way about an anime. And you know what sucks is I can't give it anything worse than a 3.
No, I think it's just gonna stay as a 3.
It just stays that it's a perma 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a perma 3.
All
it would be better if Kazuya wasn't such a fucking putz.
Yeah, that. And more Sumi.
Yes.
But you know, one episode, she gets one episode a season.
Did you see side note while you were caught? I was like, oh wow. There was a fucking intense promo with Rollins and
I know. Oh god. Yeah, man.
Let's take 40 seconds. Let's do it right now.
I've been watching that.
Let's take 40 seconds. Let's do it right now. Include the audio in your back and forth. We are. Ha 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 ha. All right. Sorry, guys. For those who don't watch wrestling, we're going to listen to wrestling for 40 seconds. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, you got it. Can you hear for the thing?
Yeah, I got it.
And clear.
We good?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Joe Riddle, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Don't talk about my family, man. Let's talk about your family. Oh, wait, you ain't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore, huh?
Ooh.
You heard me.
Where are you,
bitch?
Where are you?
I'm here. Come find me.
Dude, you don't get. I'm not gonna beat you up. I'm
Oh,
gonna you up, bro. What the f are you?
All right,
Where are you?
Come find me.
Where is he? Where are you? Dude, you don't get. I'm gonna smash him.
I can't wait. I'm interested in the feud now. Like fuck.
That's all it's sold. I was asked, do they have legit? Do they still have legit heat?
I think so. Yeah. Again, personal creates good story. Like look at Shaw and Brett.
This is good.
Yeah.
Good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal. All right, let's move on.
All right.
Ayumu.
Do we skip, or are you waiting for freaking for Harm and Labyrinth?
Oh, I forgot all about it.
I was like, we keep going past. I was like, are we just
I forgot Harem Labyrinth. Let's go to Harem Labyrinth.
All right. It's just sex.
Yeah, it basically is. Yeah, it's just sex. Sex and him buying a house.
Sex. He bought a house. He can now go in between the labyrinths.
Yeah, and he cleared level 2. Yeah, he
bought a wand. He bought a wand.
Yep, he got a wand. Basically, he didn't buy their house. He rented the house. There was some problems with like there's no water access or stuff like that.
Yeah, but he can teleport wherever he needs to teleport.
Yeah,
he buys furniture for the house, and he pays.
And he fucks her one last time in the hotel,
and then fucks her for the first time in the
yeah, doggy style.
That
happened,
bro. The fucking's pretty good too. Can't even lie.
No, the fucking is good.
The fucking is great. I told you before, I watched the story on Crunchyroll for the plot, and then I watched the uncensored version specifically for the fuck scenes. I will specifically, and I fast forward through it.
I've enjoyed that. This fucking, not the episodes.
The episodes
are okay.
Bad. They're okay, but yeah, you definitely tune for the fucking.
That's what it was for the past 2 episodes.
No, the other episode wasn't so. They didn't fuck as much the last episode before that.
They still fucked. He still fucked. They were in the dungeon. They did their job with the assassination.
I can only imagine this was like a real hentai with the stuff they would do with the tail.
Yeah. Oh no, he was rubbing that tail.
He loves it.
I see it. I do
the same shit to my cat. I'll walk up behind my cat and I'm like, tail. But I'm not looking at it like I can't wait to put my dick in your ass. Like the other one. You know.
All right. Now let's go to
Ayumu.
Alrighty. It was basically we're at the next school year. Ayumu and Urushi are in the same class.
The class number, not class.
Yeah, so I mean like There's still second, third year, but class wise.
Mhm.
And then we get a new girl, Rin, who basically knew Ayumu from Kendo Club.
Keep talking. I think my cat threw up.
Okay. Well, yeah, basically Rin wants Ayumu to go basically come back, go do Kendo Club. That was what you're supposed to do, but no, not playing shogi
Right.
like a plebeian. So basically, they have a kendo match. If Ayumu wins, he can stay at a kendo club. But if she wins, then he has to go join kendo club. All this is going on. We also got a flashback of how Ayumu met Urushi to get to play shogi and all this. He was just he just fell in love with her at first sight.
Right.
And it's like, we're like, oh yeah, but he was joining kendo club. Like, no, I'm joining this club. Fuck that. And then Urushi doesn't want to lose him for to Kendo Club, as they say. So she goes to find him. Turns out Ayumu won, and now Rin wants to join Shogi Club. And she beats Ayumu in the next episode, and she almost beats Urushi. And now she's like, teach me everything, all this. I will be your errand girl.
That was kind of silly.
Yeah, the Ayumu was like, I'll be your errand boy. Then Maki comes in. Oh, yeah, I'm the best of Shogi Club. Then I made a Ring want to go to her, like, teach me everything. What's your move? I know the Maki special. Like, oh.
I do play it. Pray tell. Yeah, my cat did throw up.
Yeah, okay. She's like, she's cool for the distraction, but she doesn't know how to fucking play. She doesn't know what the pieces do. But all that happened. Rin talks to Urushi again. It's like, so why hasn't Ayumu confessed to you? Oh, he's a coward as a man. All this shit. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. I thought he was gonna fuck me if we went to Kendo Club together. That probably would have happened. But no, she talks to him and you find out, it's because more he wants to beat her in a fair game of shogi before he confesses.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's determined to teach him everything, even though she just walked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's business. And eventually led to we skip a bit. Urushi has a official group picnic because they're official group now, after having one more member.
Yep.
All's going on. Oh, it's cherry blossoms. Urushi's like, well, let's play shogi. Then
that was a very
like,
pretty scene. It was a very pretty scene, no doubt.
And then Maki's like, we're not playing this shit. We're gonna enjoy the flowers. We're gonna enjoy the cherry blossoms. We're gonna eat. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be friends.
And then realizes, Ayumu and Urushi should fucking be together. All right, let's play.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's all play shogi. I'll show you the Maki special. I was like, what?
The Maki special.
Yeah,
you dance too.
And then Urushi's talking to Ayumu, and she's talking about, I kind of wish it was just you and me in club. Like, I'm glad we're official club because they joined, but I kind of wish it was just us.
And you think like she's gonna kiss him or hug him? Nope.
Yeah, nope.
Flower petal.
Yeah, like
This is another one for me, dude. That's kind of like fading. I'm like, it's okay.
It's solid, but it's nothing great.
I don't know if it's gonna make my top 10.
Oh no, it definitely won't.
It's not gonna make my top 10, right?
Or probably not even my mentions.
Let me see. 1, 2. Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let me make sure. Let me count the ones that are definitely gonna be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I do have 10 that are gonna make it, and one from previous season. So yeah,
I have 7 guarantees, so I'll have to rearrange the rest of them as I see. But I definitely have 7 of my top 10 guaranteed. All right. Anyway,
I got 9 for the new season and 1 for the previous season. That's gonna be guaranteed top 10. Just the order, we don't know yet. Depends on how they end.
I mean, no, I'm pretty clear what my number 1 is. It's not really a competition right now, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, the one we're gonna close with, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
It probably is, honestly.
it's clear cut. It's clear cut.
At this point, at this stage of the game, probably.
It's just another
Honestly.
level because it's like literally like they were
Well, let's get
all the
to
shows
it
were
later.
similar, and then just that this week, and then over the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's
Masterpiece.
it's gone up,
Yep.
to the unheard of level. Anyways, keep on going.
Well, let's move on. Stepmom's Daughter is my ex. The focus was it was Isana.
I like her.
I love her compared to the other two. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, basically the first part is basically Minami trying to put her nose in nobody's business. Says, "Oh, you like Mizuno, right?" Like, well, yeah, but
it's odd because she basically talked her into liking him, and then she found her genuine feelings.
She was just content just being friends. Like they liked what they had.
But she made her realize that, like, no, like you like him more. You're right. I do like him more.
Yeah, like, but still, Minami, back the fuck up.
I mean, it's a good and bad thing.
I don't know if she's trying to make Yume jealous because if she thinks she knows, like she knows Yume likes her.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. But yeah, you gotta use your assets. You gotta use those big tits.
The G cups.
Yeah, like you gotta rub them against his arms.
What is a G cup in Japanese? I think it's like a
normal high schooler.
For real, right? G Japanese G cup to American.
I like a D. Less precise as universal to them.
Brasizes.com? No, what is this? Sizeguide.net.
There you go.
Bra size chart.
Oh yeah, all that's going on. They're trying to give Isana confidence. She does what they tell him to do, but then Yume's like, they're like, wait, why are we
triple D?
Okay, yeah.
A G cup in Japan is a triple D in America.
Gotcha. But Yume is like, wait, why are we making Isana go for Mizuno when I like Mizuno? Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But later on, she eventually says, "I know what, it's fine. Go ahead." And then Isana talks to Mizuno. She talks about her feelings, and Mizuno says, "I'm gonna have to turn you down."
Like you'd be the perfect girlfriend, but I already have someone that I feel like that in my heart.
And
that was raw.
It's like, and I actually do feel bad that I ruined that.
It's so wild. Like that was the best episode by far of the series for sure when that dropped, because like you see that confession and you see Yume is the one that's crying, not Isana. Isana is like hurt, but not like really.
But she understood.
She understood, and she was prepared for that outcome anyway. But
yeah, all she wanted was to still be friends with him, and Mizuno said, "Yeah, definitely, cool."
Yeah, and it's crazy because you see Yume like realize like I'm the reason why he's gonna lose out on this really great girl because he wants to be with like a fucking girl like me.
Yeah, a degenerate
heathen.
Yep, heathen.
Heathen.
Yeah, I guess. I guess from the ED, basically he just turned her down because I don't know, does her appearance or does her personality back then.
So we learned that at the end of this last episode. If we want to skip ahead, I can kind of give you a guidance. And basically, at the end of this next episode, he realizes that in a way he's kind of like scarred because of the fact that the way that he and Isana are is the same exact way that he and Yume were. And he thinks to himself, like, if Yume and I never dated, would we be the same as Isana and I? And he thinks of like everything that goes on between them, and he's like, no matter what, like Yume nor I can't be like Isana, and like that bounce back, like understanding and kind, but hurt because she's a female and she got rejected, but able to kind of move forward and press on because that's her nature. She's innocent. She's not as cerebral about things. She doesn't get in her head as much. She realizes like he can't replicate that. She can't replicate that. And so, guys, stop it. Cats are fighting. And so that's basically that. I mean, in terms of the rest of the episode, basically, the episode starts off with Isana telling Mizuto, like, hey, I want to peruse your collection. I'm gonna come over. Okay. And then he's
Yeah,
like,
and then
wait,
and then she was starting to flirt
she's
the
starting to
whole time.
flirt. He's like, wait, I think you're definitely talking about something else. She's like, don't worry, I'll release all my sexual frustration before I come to your house.
As she was rubbing her breast on his arm again, like, no, I'm sorry, don't.
And he's like, I'm really considering this friendship. Like, okay,
Like,
bro,
there you go.
is Mizuto like?
I was like, where did this confidence come from after being rejected?
Yeah, for real, right? Well, she doesn't
Like,
give a fuck. She's got nothing to lose. Now.
I know. It was like, oh yeah, I got rejected, so who cares what I do now?
Yeah, basically, like
Yeah.
fuck. But then we learn, as Matt alluded to earlier, basically, so he goes to the house, but before that, the girls have a dress up, and we get a little backstory in terms of why Yume dresses up the way she does, and basically, it's because of Mizuto. She kept seeking Mizuto's approval, and though Mizuto loves, we find out early in the season, he loves short skirts. But he gets embarrassed because, you know, it's like a sexual weakness basically, and was like, can you not wear short skirts in public? So now Yume is very conservative but cute, wears long flowy shirts and skirts and things of that nature. But when they can't find anything for Isana, because Isana is so voluptuous, everything looks super sexual when she wears it and poses, you know, they're like, all right, let's switch styles. Why don't you wear something tight and skimpy, you know, not sexual, but not, you know, but skimpy. And Isana can wear the loose and flowy.
that she combined two of the outfits.
And so she wears white skinny jeans, and she looks really good in the outfit. They definitely draw her really nice. And she finds her own confidence in that. And Isana finds her own confidence in a new style, which is basically Yume's style. So that was nice. Anyway, so she goes to the house, and Yume's there because she doesn't trust her brother because there's a girl. The parents are like, what the fuck? There's a girl, another girl in the house? What's going on? But basically we see just them having their normal conversations, their normal interactions, very flirty, you know, so some could be perceived.
Yeah, and then Yumi's like, is this normal for you too? And then Mizuto's
you
like,
guys are already dating, aren't you? Like, no, it's normal.
That's how we are. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sore. It's like,
yeah, give me a massage, like put my socks on. And so you
like, why? It's like, why? Because my boobs are too big. So
yeah. She's like, she starts rolling all over his bed, and fucking Mizuto's like, can you not rub your scent all over my bed? Like, all right. And so what's it called? Yume gets a little jealous, and then Yume wants to like feel what it's like to be pampered. So she takes off her socks and tells Mizuto, put my socks on, hurry up. And so he's like, fine. So he puts the socks on, and he does it like he normally does, but because he's overthinking a little bit, because it's Yume, he touches her thigh, and she goes, ah! She starts fucking moaning, and she's like, pretend you never heard that. That made me chuckle when I heard that. But we find out basically Yume and Isana have a personal conversation, and we find out that, you know, Isana still, and she mentions it to Mizuto later, but we find out that, you know, she still is a little upset, not so much upset that she got rejected because she really wanted him, but that now that she knows that there's someone else in his heart that fulfills the role that she was aiming for, she doesn't want to fall victim to him forgetting about her in general, because she values their friendship. He's her only friend, and you know, she gets really scared that she's going to lose him, and it's very touching, I guess, from that standpoint.
Yeah.
And Yume is like, in a sincere way, she's like, well, we're not friends, like I thought we were friends. Like, oh yeah, we are. And it helps her get over, you know, some of that as they have that conversation. And then Yume, and like I said, during this interaction, Yume and Mizuto have that interaction with the what are you doing, cat? He's gonna lunge anyway, with each other. And then Isana calls them down like, hey, I need help. And so they run down, and they basically see their parents questioning Isana like, oh, are you Mizuto's girlfriend? No, he rejected me, like he's my ex. Like, what? They basically had to rescue her. And then that's where we get the interaction that I mentioned at the end, where they have this like realization that, you know, Isana is, you know, her own thing. But these last couple episodes as a whole have been really good for what's it called? Girlfriend Stepmom.
Yeah.
Itchy, then it slowed down.
It might not be top 10, but I feel it'll definitely be an honorable mention.
I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
I guess I think it'll definitely fit somewhere.
I mean, I'm excluding Boruto. I've got 16 shows, so I got to get rid of 6, right? 4, 8,
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
I got to
I
get
get
rid of
rid.
3. I got to get rid of 3 actually. 3 because
Yeah, I gotta get rid of like 5.
I got to get rid of 5. You got to get rid of 5. I got to get
Yeah.
rid of 3. I don't know, man.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm gonna start rearranging. I'm gonna start arranging these.
5,
I think I'm gonna start
6,
arranging these.
7.
I think tonight before I go to bed, I'm gonna start arranging my top.
Yeah, 8 aren't gonna make it, but 5 of them are gonna be cut from the mentions. Shit.
Yeah, you have more than I do this season.
Yeah. Well, now I do. Because you dropped one.
Yeah. Are you still watching the one that I dropped?
Teppen?
No, the other one.
Made I hired?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. Fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that was the first thing you started. I completely forgot. That's how like.
Yeah. Oh, all right, Overlord.
Hmm.
I'm moving on.
Oh, you're moving on to Overlord.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna drop Overlord? What?
No.
What?
No.
Whoa, I'm woken up, Matt. What did you just say? No. Before we move on,
if it was like Overlord 2, I would have dropped it.
Oh my god! Before we move on, fuck. What was I just gonna ask? I completely forgot what the fuck I was gonna ask. Man, I had a shitty memory now. Son of a bitch. All right, whatever. I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Overlord. Yeah, this is still good. It's not Overlord 3.
No.
That's still the best one.
For sure.
First we get dragons. Like we're finally getting dragons into the mix because what are those creatures called again?
What?
The wolf furry looking things.
Quagu.
Quagu.
Quago.
Yeah. Basically the captain that says, "Oh yeah, they had these powerful guys. We're fucked."
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the dragon. Says, "Oh yeah, can you take care of this for us? Can you take care of the dwarves?" So like, yeah, for all this money that you don't have. It's like, are you like, all right, fine, we'll be right back. It's like, are you gonna go yourself? No, send my fucking loser son.
Yeah, right. And the loser son is
answers.
The loser son is adorable. I can't even lie.
He is, yeah. I forget what was his name.
I forget his name.
Yeah, but the dragon son, he goes like, all right, I'm not gonna fight him. I'm just gonna test out their strength. That's all I have to do.
That was funny when he when his father's like, I have a job for you. You must slay these undead. Eek.
Yep, pretty much.
Did you just say eek? No.
Yeah. He sees Shaltier and what's that elf's name? Lily? No.
Mara?
No, the other one. Aura. Sorry.
Aura.
Yeah, he sees her like, oh shit, they're strong. Then he sees everyone else. Immediately surrenders.
And pisses himself in the process.
Yes. It's like, no, but he was an excited piss. And then Shelter's like, should we do that for you too? And like, his little glowing grief is like, don't do that. Don't do that. You should not
like you unlocked Einzolgo's piss fetish.
It's like, please do not do this. So he goes there, he kills the dragon, dad. He immediately heart grasps dead.
Yep.
Like, all right,
he almost did it to the cute dragon too. And he's like, no. Prostrate, pissed.
Gives up right away.
You knew, bro.
So it's like, all right, this spare my mom. Okay, which one's your mom? They all are.
Isn't that like an insta kill? Like when you really think about it, he said, like, oh, we're gonna prove your loyalty. Like it's a fucking insta kill. Like, what are you doing? Do you heart grasp somebody and you can't fucking squeeze their heart? Who is that? Isn't that kind of silly? Like when you really think about it, can't he just heart grab everybody?
Yeah, he kind of one shot killed that hero guy.
Yeah, like
I thought it was gonna be like a big duel. All this insta kill, like like let me see that story. Yeah, it's a great story. If you know how to use it, you can kill me. You know how to use it? No, yeah, it's never done.
Because he heart grasped what's his face? The guy earlier in the season, the fucking warrior god.
Yeah,
he heart grasped him after all right, I'm bored. Heart grasp. And he insta kill. It's like what's the point? Just heart grasp. It's like Shaw's here with her fucking battling where she cut up like 50,000 fucking Quagola.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. As you're talking this, dude, Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but yeah, then we go to Shouts here, seeing the Quaggles, like, oh yeah, I need you all to surrender right now. It's like, what? What if we do? Then I'm gonna kill all of you until there's 10,000 left.
And then you'll surrender.
It's like, kill everyone. And the people start dying.
And it's literally like throwing chickens inside of a shredder.
Yeah.
Literally.
This
blood and death and gore and pieces of fucking fur dog everywhere. It was good shit.
It is.
It was good shit. I was like, wow, this is really fucking graphic, but I dig it.
But yeah, what was the next one? There was a meeting. Right, there was a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always laugh when you see these meetings and it's like Heinz Ogle, here's fucking shit he did. Like, oh, I was thinking that, and said like I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, you're trying to make them explain it, but they don't for him.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's like, wait, you don't mean you did this the whole time? It's like, oh yeah, I did. Just tell them.
He's like, oh, you know the plan, right? Yes. So since you know the plan, go ahead and let everybody else know what the plan is, since you understand what my logic is. Oh, of course, Heinz Ogle-sama. And they go over the plan, like, oh yeah, good shit. Yeah, good shit, pal.
He's like, when did I talk about this?
I know, right? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's like, oh man, like, do they even need him at this point?
You know, we never saw what this guy looked like in real life, right? From season 1.
We didn't.
I would love to see what he looks like in real life, to hear the voice, the master.
He was a junior. Well, he was in junior high, so.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was an adult.
Yeah. No, he's in middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. He was friends with people of all ages, but he was in middle school.
Oh shit!
Right? The most powerful undead guy is a junior high student.
He's 14. What the fuck?
Oh my god! Right?
That kind of kills it. That kind of kills it a little bit. It really does. I'm thinking like he's like a grown ass dude in college or something, dude.
No.
Or he's like a senior high school.
The other teammates for college.
What the fuck?
Right, but yeah, basically. All right, but anyway, someone destroyed the cart that has supplies in it. Someone took all the stuff, so they're trying to figure out what to do. They thought it was the other kingdom. And now they're pissed. They're pissed at them. It's like, oh, it was a noble. Someone's gonna die, basically. And they're like, oh no, do we give up a noble? They're like, no.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, we can just be a vassal state. Nope, that's the one thing we're never gonna be as a vassal.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually Albedo goes there.
And that's where the episode ends.
Well, first the king's like, could you offer up my head instead? We know who did it. We have the guy, but can you kill me instead? Yeah. Like, he doesn't want to, like what the fuck, guy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we did that and we skipped the plan basically where they capture the I guess the assistants who are there, and then they basically charm her. She's like, oh, Heinz Ogle, he's magnificent, he's benevolent. We must protect him at all costs, and we must obey him, and blah 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 blah. They charmed him into that, and then that's where we hear about the plan. Like, oh, we should just slaughter them all. Yeah, slaughter them all. Yeah, we should kill them all. And fucking Heinz Ogle on his head is like, no, what?
Yeah, it's like that's not what I want right now.
No.
It's like, guys, stop.
No.
Wait, Stuart?
A little bit. Internally, that's what the fuck he's like, though.
Right.
But no, so yeah, but like you said, as a whole, this is a solid series. It's not as good as season 1 or season 3. Definitely would be the third place season for me.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah. I don't want to give it a rating yet, but it's like I'm pretty confident in the rating I'm going to give it.
I'm between 3.5 and 4.
It's gonna right now for me. It's not gonna be no more than a 4. I think it might stay at a 4.
Moving on.
Let's talk about 5 stars now, buddy.
Which one?
Let's start with Call of the Night.
Call of the Night. Yes, we got more characters. We got more vampires.
Yes,
I'm happy. Finally.
Yes, more cute Kekis.
Kabura, Seri, Midori, Nico.
They're all hot.
Yes.
I'm gonna bang them all, and they can kill me.
Yeah, Seri sees Code, wants to suck his blood, and Nazuna's like, "Oh hell no!"
Yep.
And she cuts her arm.
Arm off, and then fucking the girl grabs the arm and is like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
Yeah, they
reveal
revealed that she's a vampire and all this shit.
right.
One of the other girls, it was Kabura. She takes Ko.
She's like, I'm coming with you. You're coming with me. Boom.
Sorry, it was Hatsuka. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know them, but
yeah, the other vampire girls, they go to Nico's place. I guess Nico's the main one.
And it's a nice ass place.
Right? Yeah, it's like fancy lounge area.
It's a fucking rooftop lounge, dude. Like, okay.
All right, I can fuck with this.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, now they're all debating on which one of them should turn Ko to a vampire.
You want me? No, you want me? No, you. And it's funny. They're like, "Oh, that's her famous strategy."
Yeah,
no,
they're all trying their famous strategies, but he's not interested in any of them.
Yeah, he's like, "I just love Nazuna."
But
like, why do you love Nazuna? It's just, she's cool. She just said I'll fall in love with her whenever. That's okay.
Yeah, and then Nazuna eventually gets there. She got there the worst time. Like, she talked about love, and she just falls down.
They're like, "Oh, don't tell me you're still shy." Yep, she's still shy.
Yeah. And there's the codes talking about I don't care how long, if it takes years and all this. Like,
yeah.
About
if you don't turn into a vampire in a year, you'll never be.
They first started sucking the blood.
Yeah, you'll never be a vampire if you don't do it in a year, bro.
Also, we'll kill you.
And we're gonna kill you.
Well, sorry, that was implied.
I think, what I think is gonna happen? I think that something or someone is going to go after the vampires, and Ko is going to save them, and he's going to realize, like, no, I don't want to be a vampire, and he's going to go be with the other girl.
Right.
Which I hope that's the case.
But yeah, all that happened. And he yells at us like, "Why didn't you tell me?" Like, I forgot. It's like, how do you forget that?
And so the next episode starts, and then so now he feels the pressure, like, oh fuck, they're gonna kill me, I gotta fall in love with her, like, what do I gotta do? So he speaks to what was the blonde vampire,
the blonde one, that was Seri.
So she speaks to Seri and was like, oh, I need to make her fall in love with me, what should I do? And so Seri gives her
take her on a date, like,
gives her like a foolproof plan of like to get a woman to fuck you, basically, right? And it's all perfect. It would work in real life.
But it's not for her.
But it's not for Nazuna.
Yeah, it's like, is this a rom-com? Yeah, I'm leaving.
Yep, she hates it.
She hates romance, like, a lot. And it's like, this isn't yours, this whole thing.
No, yeah. They're like, nope, it's Sarah's. Like, all right, I'm going home. And so Ko goes home, and he's like tossing and turning. He can't go to sleep. He's pissed off. And then fucking Nazuna's like, I'm hungry. I guess we can go on a date. So she goes to his house and picks him up and was like, hey, let's go get some food. We'll do this last part, right? Famous rooftop, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And
and then they're like basically flying in the air. It's like what's a date really? It's like you're having fun, right?
Yeah. Like we go on dates all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is true. And then we get the introduction of another character, another friend.
What's that guy's name? But it's in middle school. Akira is talking to.
Let me find the
Seki. The blonde guy, yeah. Mahiru Seki.
Not here. Oh, that's interesting. He's not included in the initial list.
Yeah, Seki.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Nico? It's a character we haven't seen yet, eh?
Nico, the redhead?
I don't know. Have we?
Yeah, Nico is the redhead vampire.
Oh, they include her. Sari, I understand. They include her, but really? Oh, another thing. I love Shirakawa.
Yeah.
I like Shirakawa a lot.
Yeah.
I wish she was like a cougar. That'd be cool.
That was the one that was like barking stressed out, right?
Yeah, and started crying. I felt that hurt. I was like, man, and that's such a symbol. That's such a symbol of real life Japan, dude.
Oh yeah, no, they Yeah, they don't pull back on that. But yeah, Akira is talking to Seki. He's like, "Can you please convince him to come to school? She really wants him to come to school.
Come suffer with me.
Yes, jump off the roof."
Okay, right? Climb the fence, jump off the roof. That's so fucked up. I didn't realize. Like, I realized it, but I didn't realize it until like it was confirmed. Like, oh yeah, all schools in Japan have fucking fences so they don't commit suicide. Like, oh
Pretty
no,
much.
it's like the nets in the fucking factories in China, so people don't commit suicide at work. You got suicide nets. That's wild.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, all that's going on. What you call it? Seki is hanging out with Ko. Then Ko's talking about like what he's been doing. He's talking about with Nezuna and how he's happy. All this shit. And then Seki's like, "You want him to go to school?"
Right?
It's like, what the fuck? Like, no, he's fine. He's happy. He doesn't need school to be happy.
Meanwhile, he's also been going out late at night, seeing a girl.
Yeah.
Older girl. She
the what?
It's an older girl. She does not introduce.
Oh yeah, but no, yeah, he's been going nice. See, people are happy. You don't need school, people.
For real. And he ditches his group to go talk to Ko. They have a nice conversation. They get a reaffirmation that they're friends. And he basically has like a friend that he can look up to. Like, oh, this is, what you should aspire to be, kind of, sort of, but not really. So that's cool. Something tells me he's fucking with a vampire too.
Yeah.
May not be. I don't know. But
you never know.
You never know. No, but this is super solid. I'm definitely enjoying it very much. Funny. This is another one that it's already for me at a 4 level. I'm waiting for it to see if it gets any higher.
Yeah. All right, we got 3 more.
I know, it's power through this, baby.
Engage Kiss.
A lot of people didn't like this episode. I feel.
What?
I know Sean was like all disappointed by the episode, and I'm like, this is really good.
I think he said it was too much at once. I think that was his issue.
Maybe. I mean, they did. It feels like they blew their wad a little bit, right?
They did, no. But man, fucking poor Miles.
Yeah. Not really.
No, but like at the same time, it's like fuck.
I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for fucking Shu's dad.
Yeah.
That's who I feel sorry for. We'll get into it. Go ahead and get into it.
Basically, well, we have to talk about the previous episode because it ties into it. Yeah, basically, the cops are there at Shu's house. They're talking about like a list of suspects. Kasara's like, I know who did it. Immediately she saw Ayano's name. Like, it's her.
Yep.
We have to kill her right now.
As soon as Ayano walks in the door, like, hey, you got some random car out there. We need to kill Ayano.
But it's like, what? It's like, what? No, but why? It's like, no, I see her name. She's totally evil, but I love her. That's why we gotta kill her. And then she comes in, it's like, all right, I like who's more important, a legal person or a high schooler? Ripe or expired?
Wow, say ripe. I'm done. He's a fucking
ripe or expired, semi-expired,
ripe. Oh my god!
It's like, make your choice, Shu. And I was like, all right, no, shut up. Let the adults talk. Go back to cutting your onions. All's going on. I was like, no, it's not me. It's not my mother. And then, what you call it? Tetsuya, Miles, they go to their thing. Tetsuya is dead.
Yeah, so basically he finds out and he narrows down the suspects and he's like, I know who it is. Runs out. We see our what's it called? What's his name? Our informant basically at the scene, more or less. And so they get there. The detective leaves a message on Shu's phone, but Shu and Kisara get there. They see the detective's been shot to death and they don't know who it is. But they see the informant. They manage to corner the informant, and the informant is Mikhail.
Yeah, so it turns out, he's not this pretty boy narcissist in high schools.
He's a pretty boy narcissist, leader of the whole police.
Well, the de-investigation team.
The demon investigation team, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
that was funny. I was wondering about it too, because we only saw him that one episode. He was in the OP a lot. I was like, where is he? And then we find out where he is.
He's up a couple episodes. But yeah, he doesn't show up a lot. And then you find out, he's the fucking head of the fucking department.
Yeah, fuck.
And so he's like, nope, I've been, this is my secret identity,
I've been
whatever.
helping you for a while.
Yep. And so basically they show them, he brings them over to City Hall. They go to like this secret basement, and he shows that he's been spying on everyone.
Every
Everyone
camera, every street.
in the entire city, which I think is illegal. You can't do that. Like, you can't have like constant surveillance like that.
But he's
I'm
police.
sure they do. I'm sure they do somewhere, but I heard it's like super like illegal or some shit. But in any case, yeah, he's got constant surveillance, and so he's like, why don't we try and find the killer through surveillance? And so he basically has a team that's pouring through all this footage, and basically Shu manages to pinpoint something while he's talking to Ayano, and was like, go back, and he sees something. He's like, holy shit, I know who it is. So we fast forward to the end of the episode, and they basically go to the detective's funeral. The detective's funeral, everyone's there, everything's all good. And Miles was like, hey, come on, let's go get food. Okay. So he jumps in the car with Miles. They start driving. Miles is talking about all the stuff. And then she was like, yeah, so
is that why you killed him?
Why did you kill the detective?
And his arm started glowing.
And his arm starts glowing. And so we get the payoff to that revelation in the last episode. Payoff is basically we find out the history of Miles. We find out basically his daughter had like a kidney disease and was super sick, and he ended up making in order to save his daughter, ended up making a contract with the devil, or not devil, I'm sorry, with the demon, with like called Amadeus, the head demon.
Yeah.
And we basically see him work for the head demon, and we also see when he meets Shu originally. He meets Shu and the family, works with them. It sees Iono's mom, whose name I'm forgetting. Iono's mom. They all were family friends. You see Iono and Shu were family friends.
Yeah, I was saying it's cute. Even when they were younger, she still like wanted to cuddle onto him.
Yeah. It's fucking cute. So we see that. Meanwhile, they have no idea what's going on. So during the night of the incident where Shu's family dies, Ayano's mom is like taking patrol of the area that they're in like the cave or the drill site. And Miles shows up, and Miles, keep in mind, recused himself from the case because of his sick daughter. And so she goes over to the thing, and they're like, aren't you supposed to be with your sick daughter? And he's like, well, there's nothing I can do anyway at this stage, so it's fine. Go get something to eat. And he basically forces her, go, leave, go somewhere. And so he shows up, and we already see the deed has been done by this stage in Miles's memory, where we see that Amadeus is Shu's mother.
Yeah.
Amadeus is Shu's mother.
I was like, wow.
And his mother killed the father, abducted the sister, and Miles, he was going to kill Shu, and Miles was like, don't kill Shu. Like, this wasn't part of the deal. Like, let the boy live, And so he basically saves Shu. The giant explosion happens, and he saves Shu. Everyone's supposedly dead, quote unquote. Nobody knows anything. They're all dead. And that's that. He basically raises Shu, and he's having a drink one day as he's watching Shu and his daughter. His daughter miraculously recovers after surgery. Things are well. He's watching Shu and his daughter play around in the yard. And then his wife gives Miles a paper, and Miles reads the paper, and it's writing from himself from the past saying, Amadeus like basically lives in your subconscious. So he basically became Amadeus in a way. And so we flash forward to the present where we see the battle going on between everybody that's there. AAA. We're also forgetting another big reveal. As this fight first happens, where Miles turns into the demon, starts fighting Kisara. Starts fighting AAA, and they're unsuccessful. While this is happening, Iona's mom is next to the head of the police, and the head of the police gets to speak to Mikhail, and they start going back and forth. And basically, there was a plot where like, yo, don't let Shu win, don't let AAA win. Make sure anybody else like wins with like the cheapest bid, and we'll compensate them with a lot more later on, no matter the price. And so they catch wind of that. AAA wins with a score of $1, and they send Shu basically to initiate the whole thing. And the guy is like, oh, how could you do this? How could you win? And so Iona's mom reveals the plot to him and basically corners Mikhail. And it was like, listen, like in his moment where he's about to confront the person who's responsible for his parents' like disappearance or death, like
Yeah.
you weren't planning to fucking save him or help him. You were planning to get rid of him. You're planning to get rid of everybody. So that way none of these secrets would happen. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that his family is still alive. And you know where they're at. And you don't want Miles telling them where they're at.
Yeah.
And big reveal, he ends up hanging up. He stutters, tries to play it off, and Ayano's mom keeps
But he
going.
knows that,
hangs up
yeah,
on
like,
Ayano's
yeah.
mom. So there's a strong possibility now that Shu's family is still alive throughout everything that he put himself
Well,
through.
probably just not the. Yeah, I think just the dad's dead. The mother and daughter are still alive.
Probably, yeah. And so, as this is happening, like I said, Shu battles and basically he's extremely hurt by everything that's happening, and he tells Kisara like, "Listen, I need you to extract his memories." And Kisara's like, "Yeah, he'll die if I do that." And he's like, "Well, that's fine. Then we'll do what we have to do."
And then
And
take
then
my memories of him out of me.
yeah, and they were like, "Oh, like it doesn't matter." Like she's like, "Oh, she would like Kisara would like didn't want that. Like he was, upset."
Like she
And
knows something.
but so Shu forces himself on Kisara and kisses her to suck the memories out.
Also, what's going on? Again, the nun is helping out Ayana. And he's like,
Yeah.
you find out what happened. Shu let her go.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, there's two conditions. One, what were the conditions?
don't remember. But one of them basically slipped a key in her fucking tongue.
Yeah.
Gangster.
And one is let me out, and two was something else.
Some other shit. But anyway, so she's out. That's that, and the fight's happening. She sucked the memories out of Shu to get the power. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and eventually Miles goes past Kisara and tells Kisara, "Please take care of Shu." Goes after Shu. Shu, who doesn't have his memories of Miles anymore, says, "Die, demon." He pulls out a fucking demon-killing bullet, shoots Miles in the face,
and he says, "I'm sorry."
We get that momentarily.
Yeah.
So basically, Kisara takes the body, sucks out the memories, and then Shu was like, "Hey, did you get anything like worthwhile from him?" And they're like, "He said sorry." And he's like, "What? What do you mean he says sorry?" And then you see the flash to the moment where you see Miles like, "Ah!" And he's like, "I'm sorry," like with tears in his eyes, knowing he's gonna die to Shu. And he's like, "I'm sorry." And Shu kills him. And there's like a very somber realization with Shu where he gets that memory back.
Yeah.
And he begins to cry. And everyone around him is just somber and, sad at what's happening as they see Shu just lost his foster parent, his foster father, basically, over this whole ordeal. And that's how the episode ends. It was really good.
These are nice 2 sets of episodes.
For sure. This is ranging around 4.5 for me right now, dude.
Right now it's still 4, so we'll see.
It's solid 4, no doubt. Solid 4.
All right. Now,
Co-main.
Lycoris Recoil.
Co-main event of the
What
evening.
the fuck?
Bro.
Where do I begin?
So we find out what the nurse did to Chisato.
Well, first we go a little bit. Well, we didn't talk about the last episode, but actually it's not that important because basically the cafe losing money.
Yeah, so Takina takes over, creates a shit parfait that becomes really popular on the net because of the fact it looks like shit.
And then Majima was talking to Chisato.
Yeah,
like oh yeah, I recognize you from.
Yeah, and
like
so
from
we
the tower,
and we find out basically that Majima is an island kid just like Chisato, but doesn't reveal what his mission is and wants to find out what Chisato's mission is. And Chisato's just like, I'm here to bring hope. And they're like, through death? And they're like, just I'm here to bring hope. And so that's that. She ends up getting abducted.
Yeah, she eventually goes to her physical. She gets drugged.
Yep, goes to sleep.
They're after her artificial heart.
And the episode ends with them shocking her heart. So when it's over, Takina finds everything. She manages to go over to the hospital, finds them, starts shooting. The nurse gets away, but before that, or after that rather, they test what's it called? Chisato. She wakes up. They're like, "What happened?" They're like, "So the lady sent
she overcharged the heart.
She overcharged the heart, fried the system, fried the memory, so we can't get in there and we can't recharge the heart." And they're like, "Oh, well, how long do I have?" They're like, "Well, we just recharged it, so you'll be lucky if you last 2 months, maybe longer if you don't do jack shit." And
then you find then Takina's like 2 months for what? Like she was like confused.
yeah, like you're
Then
gonna
Mika says she'll die.
yeah, and Takina's extremely heartbroken, but Chisato's like, it's not a big deal. Like I
Yeah,
didn't have
like she
anyway.
knew. Like she even said like this. She even said like she knew this was going to happen regardless.
Yeah, basically. And so we get the backstory as this is happening. Basically, Chisato runs away, and then no, that's Chisato. I'm sorry, Takina runs away, runs back to the
DA.
to the not DA, runs back to the coffee shop.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
The coffee shop. And so as she does that, she comes in through the back door basically, and she overhears Mika and Walnut talking, and we get a backstory from Mika. First off, we get a confirmation that Mika is gay with
Shinji.
with Alan. Yeah, with the Alan. What the fuck I say Alan? With Shinji. So we find out that they are a gay couple or gay related in some capacity. But
yeah, he fucking ghosted Mika.
He did, piece of shit.
It's like what the fuck? All because she saw him?
So you think I think Mika's the top, but because he's got a crippled leg, he kind of can't be a top.
I think they're just equal.
The verse they switch.
Yeah, they're switches.
They switches up. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think just good old missionary lovemaking.
Can you even do missionary? I don't even know. Don't answer that question.
No, you can.
That's weird.
Okay, you can
anyway.
do missionary with anal with a girl. So
Can you? Is this?
Yeah,
it's odd.
You can do it.
It's like I just think a doggy like as like the only like anal position.
No. You could do vaginal anal for most positions. Cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, doggy.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, this is how you do it, or line it up.
First, the fucking hour 1, cock and plastic cock. Hour 2, anal.
Yes, exactly.
I wish we'd go back and edit it. Like Matt and Ethan talk about like Lycoris Recoil, the Dragon Ball movie, plastic cocks and anal sex.
Yeah. But yeah, we get a backstory on Chisato.
Yeah.
You find out she was
adorable.
You find out she was really good even when she's younger, but she can't last long physically. She just fainted after.
Yeah, she has a congenital heart defect, and that she's gonna die in 6 months. And so Mika tells that to Alan, and Alan's like, we have something for her. And so I keep saying calling him Alan.
Like, but I think that's it's either one. But yeah, it says but
it should be Yoshi-san. Yoshi, we'll call him Yoshi. I'm gonna call him Yoshi.
Yeah.
So basically,
he says it's temporary. That's
so Yoshi shows Mika a heart. It's a brand new like mechanical heart. They're like, yo, this is the latest and greatest from the Allen Institute. This is several generations ahead of its current technology. There's nothing like it on the market. But as Matt said, it's not gonna last long. And they're like, well, how long? They're like, she won't make it to adulthood. And Mika's like, well, as long as she lives to 18. Like she's like most of
the agents live that long anyway.
Yeah, they retire. They retire by the time they're 18, so that's fine, no big deal. And I think at the story, she's like 15.
What in this story? Oh, we're talking about right now?
Yeah, right now she's like 16. And they said it was 7 years ago.
She's 17.
She's 17. This was 7 years ago. She was 10 at the time.
Yeah.
So she was 10 at the time, basically. So she's basically at that age, and that's what Takina said anyway. She's like, I knew I didn't have much time anyway. Or not Takina, sorry. Chisato said that. And so that's basically what that meant. But we see a nice interaction between her and Yoshi, why she's the savior, why she calls him the savior.
And why he does the bullets.
Yeah, and why we find out why she doesn't kill. Like she doesn't kill because she wants to bring good to the world. After she wakes up from her surgery, she's like, oh, you received a gift from the savior, and it's a gun and the pendant. And they're like,
and it's those bullets, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's this gun. Like, oh, it's a gun for good. I'm like, okay, well, it's a gun for good. I'm not gonna kill nobody. I don't like that. I like killing, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna nitpick too hard.
But it makes sense as to why, though.
Yeah, it does. It does. No doubt.
Yeah, and then Takina and Mika were talking.
Yeah, Takina comes from the shadows, and Mika's like, "You heard all that?" And they were like, "Yeah, whatever." And it is what it is. Earlier in the episode, before this conversation happened, we see the two girls from the DA. Who are they?
Mizuki and Sato go there, actually.
Yeah, they go there. They give Takina a letter, and Takina's like, "What's this?" They're like, "Oh, it's your orders to come back. Like we found Majima's hideout. We're gonna institute a raid. We need heads, so it's your orders to come back. Let us know in 2 days." Right?
And she's like, fuck that.
And she's like, I don't want to go. But then, like, the more she thought about it, the more this is like what Chisato did. And they called Chisato over to DA herself, and they told her the same thing. Like, hey, we found Majima's hideout. We need more heads. Come to the DA. You have yet to play your part. And Chisato's like, how do you know what part I have to play when I'm the one that can only decide that? And they're like, oh, you know what? Bring Takina. As she's about to leave, she's like, bring Takina back to the DA. Then I might come back too. Right?
Yeah, and
And so,
then she was like, I'm gonna die anyway, so what the fuck do I care?
yeah, basically, that's what it is. So, Takina basically is gonna go back to the DA. She
But she
decides that
spends
she's gonna
one
do
day with
that.
Chisato.
Yeah, she's like, let me tell Shisato that I'm gonna go back to the DA. So she takes them out on the date. Everything is all precisionally timed.
Yep.
You know, typical.
Not
Takina
even
shit.
couldn't even finish eating.
Couldn't even finish eating. They go to the aquarium. The aquarium's closed. Gives them time to whatever. And then Takina gets a new winter outfit as well. Gets a little cold, but which is that's cute. But then she meticulously planned out everything until the final date. They travel to some other prefecture in Japan, and they are sitting on a park bench, and they're like, "Why are we so far away in this park bench?" And she's like, "I wanted to see snow with you at 9 o'clock." And so she's like, well, why are we here? And then, basically Chisato guesses like, oh, you're going back to DA, aren't you? And she goes, yeah, I am. And they have like a nice, wonderful conversation amongst them. And Takina thanks Chisato. And Chisato earlier in that conversation, gives Takina her scarf. And basically Takina was going to take it off. And Chisato was like, no, this is my parting gift for you. Like, thank you so much. And the episode ends as they're walking away. There's no snow, but as they start walking away, snow falls, and they look at each other with like, hey, this is goodbye, but this is a happy goodbye, and that's how the episode ends.
I feel like one or two things could happen.
We forgot it. We forgot a show.
Which one?
Yakuza's Guide.
Fuck.
And I love this episode. I can't wait to talk about it.
I will. That'll be co-main.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man.
I feel like either Chisato's gonna die or Takina gives Chisato her heart at the end.
I don't think Takina gives Chisato her heart, but I think, you know what I think? I think Majima helps Chisato out somehow.
Oh, did you see the after credit for this?
There was an after credit?
Yeah, Alan was being driven around and the car got stopped. It was Majima with his goons, guns ready.
Ooh.
Like, oh yeah, you're Alan, right? I need to talk to you.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He's like, fuck.
And they figured out, that was another thing as part of the conversation, that Walnut and Mika figured out basically that Yoshi is the reason why the whole thing happened with the raid and the guns. Yoshi's the reason why Walnut hideout got blown up and she's on the run now. Yoshi's the reason why Majima exists and is working with Majima. Like, they find all that out in the episode. So solid shit, bro. This is getting close to a 5. We'll see how it ends, but this is getting close to a 5.
Oh yeah. All right, now let's talk about Yakuza.
I cried.
I'll let you take care of this one real quick.
I cried. It was I didn't cry like boohoo cry, but I shed a couple tears just because it was so wonderful. Basically, we get an episode where Aoi finally visits the compound.
Yeah, after leaving.
Yeah, after leaving, brings a gift, brings his son rather, and so his son Kōki and Yaika, they go play, and we basically get flashbacks throughout the episode of what Aoi was like. Aoi basically was the and this, I think they went like 8 years. I think it's like they went 8 years in the past. And so what's it called? He was the first lieutenant where what's his face is now? Kirishima, where he's at. And we see a young Kirishima, like just some punk kid getting into fights and beating the shit out of people. And Aoi's the one that has to basically clean up after him. We see a pregnant Miyuki with basically pregnant with Chisato. I was like, Chisato, wow, pregnant with Yaika, and it's just a nice actual like family environment. But the episode really kind of focuses on Aoi and his wife, whose name escapes me, but she gets pregnant with their kid, and there's a flashback to Aoi as a kid. And Aoi didn't have a family. He came from an orphanage, was going through adoption systems, and then he got picked up by the Sakuragi family. And the Sakuragi family, for everything that he does and is around, became his actual family.
Right.
And so he has his love of his life. He has his family. He talks about his family all the time with his wife and all the stuff. And, you know, his wife is accepting of that. But one day after like a gang battle, basically,
Yeah, he got sliced.
Aoi got sliced trying to protect Kirishima from a knife. And so at the same time his phone dies, and at the same time his wife is in the hospital, like going through
It's like
tests.
calling, like
Calling nonstop,
every
calling
like
nonstop.
5.
He busts through the door, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, da 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 da. He's bleeding, and she's like, let me see. Like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, it's not that bad. She touches it, like, oh my god, you're fucking bleeding profusely, and she has a panic attack. And ever since then, like, it kind of like triggered something in her, like where she had PTSD of her and the Yakuza. She would be sick a lot, be bedridden, and it drove Aoi like really sad. Like he was really upset over this. But what the breaking point was, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the family. And his wife was like, please don't go, please don't go. And it broke his heart to the point where he made a decision, and he begged, he begged the boss to, leave the family so he can take care of his wife. And the boss, to his credit, was like, hey, if you have to worry about protecting us, then we'll take us out of the equation, because the reality is we can get somebody else to protect us. You can't get somebody else to protect what you love the most. So if that's what's more important to you, then you go do that. And I laughed internally because I was like, this isn't fucking like, this isn't
they will kill you. They will kill you.
It'll kill you. You don't get to leave. This isn't fucking, there's no benevolent fucking Yakuza fucking boss. No.
Right? Yeah.
That made no sense. But the principle of it was just so wholesome. And so we see him and his wife. He comes back. He's like, oh, I thought you were one of the family. And she's like, I left the family. And he goes, but that was your family. They're like, and he basically is telling his wife, like, no, you're the only family I need. Like, you're the person I treasure the most. Da, 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 da. And they start crying together. It's very nice. And then before that, basically they kind of do like another flashback, and they see as he talks to Kirishima, he's like, oh, you've changed, da 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 da. He's like, oh yeah, you never even played with the little girl, did you? And nobody remembers that you see a baby Yaika is born, and Kirishima's there, and Yaika falls asleep on Kirishima's leg, and Kirishima calls Miyuki and was like, hey, can you help me out? She's like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, are you tired? And he goes, yeah, I just wanted to rest a little. He's like, all right, give me a second. So she goes to put away the laundry, comes back and finds both Kirishima and Yaika dead asleep. Aoi comes over and starts yelling, like, what the fuck are you doing? Da 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 da. And Miyuki's there, and then the boss shows up, and they both say shh. And Miyuki starts laughing. They're like, oh, they're just like a real family. And the boss is like, let them sleep. Get them a futon, wife. Okay. And that's how the episode ends, with both of them falling asleep. Their bond.
Very nice episode.
Unknown. Yeah. It was a very, very wholesome episode, and I shed a couple tears. It was really nice. There's just something about that type of Japanese wholesome thing that was really good. There is one thing I forgot to mention though, as they're going over the story. Basically, all's well that ends well with that story, and you see. Oh, I forgot another part of it. The other part of the story is we see Yaika make another friend in school. Sarah, I believe her name is Sarah.
Yeah.
She basically joins Yaika's school. She becomes really popular. And because of that, there's like this really unpopular girl that likes drawing just as much as Yaika, but is super shy. And then one day they talk and they're like, hey, I just want to draw with you. And can we draw? And they're like, yeah, that's cool. So we're friends? Yeah, we're friends. And they meet a friend. They're all friends. Everybody's happy. Kirishima's tailing them, protecting them. And you hear from Yaika's perspective, they're like, like everything is happy and wholesome. Like everything is well. But ominously, she says, but I knew this happiness wasn't meant to last forever. And that's how the episode ends, on those words. So something bad is gonna happen. Pretty.
Soon.
It's gonna involve the other like white-haired Yakuza member who's fucking.
Oh yeah, I think no. I think Kirishima is eventually gonna snap when he finally faces off with him.
Yeah, basically, he's gonna basically become the monster in front of Yaika, probably scare Yaika, and Yaika's gonna be the one to snap him out of it.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But it's very ominous the way they ended it, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's pretty raw." This is also another one for me, at least. It's close to a 5, dude. It's close to me.
All right. Now let's get to.
Let's get to the show that is most definitely a 5.
Main Abyss. Again,
I think I gave it a 5 already. But if not,
it's already up there with that. Yeah, these 2 episodes is basically a flashback of the first Explorers. We're finally getting what happened. We are,
and it is dark. And when you think it doesn't get any darker, it gets darker.
well, yeah. The first episode was what made me tear up. But basically, they all go down below. They do the thing that even Rico Reganevo, they went to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
and then they see these investigating bots. So yeah, like Reg.
Mm-hmm.
They go there, they're like asking for information. They want to know more about it. Like, where's food? Where's water?
Mm-hmm.
They get water. Boil the water.
Along the way, they also find a mysterious golden egg.
Oh yeah, yeah. They asked the bots about it. Like, what is this?
They're like, it's a golden egg that'll grant your wishes.
But for a kid,
only children can wield this because adults are too impure to basically wield it.
Yeah, and then
and you can't touch it directly. You can't touch it directly.
Yeah, and they'll come into play later. Like first, like they get water, they get food, everything's fine so far.
Yep.
Then you find out people are getting sick.
Starting off with what's her face? Iramui.
Iru, yeah.
Iramui is the first one to have diarrhea. They get severe diarrhea. There's like eggs in the diarrhea, fever. And then they start turning into
like these tree looking
some sort of tree.
Yeah, monster. It turns out it's the water that's contaminated, and you even when you boil it, they're still there.
Yeah, you find out that this water isn't necessarily water. It's like the poison of like the husk of a giant like dead animal or something that's there in the cave. Like it's not a cave. It's like the corpse of a dead animal.
Yeah,
and that's the cave. And what you're eating is like whatever the fuck.
And that's like it's eggs.
Yeah, there's larvae and shit in it. It's pretty fucked, right?
Yeah. Everyone is slowly but surely to Velo eventually.
Yeah, Vueko ends up getting sick as well. And just when all else fails, because she's one of the last, she was basically the nurse, and so she was the last.
Yeah, Belef and the Prophet were like the ones that were fine during this.
No, eventually they get sick. Belef gets sick too, but then he kept moving on. They both did regardless, and then Vueko gets sick, and when Vueko gets really sick, we see her ingest some sort of.
Well, before that though, we're missing Irumi. She started taking shape. Well, first Velko.
Like, we gotta find a cure. We gotta find a cure. So they give her the golden egg, and they tell her like,
please make a wish.
But before that, we get a really raw and powerful conversation between Iramui and Vueko. And Iramui's biggest like regret in life is that she was cast aside because she can't have children. All she wants is to have children, and which is weird because she's like 8. But
and she also wants a mom.
Yeah, and so
Vueko was basically to her.
Basically ends up being that. Yeah. So again, we need to find a cure. And so they trust the egg, the golden egg, with Iramui, and they say like this child's wishes are gonna be what save us. And boy, that's some ominous words that came back later.
Yeah, and then she eventually she's not in pain anymore, but she's still taking the shape.
Yeah, she starts taking the shape of like the thing of the tree monster thing.
Then she gives birth.
But
they don't last long.
They last a day.
Yeah, and it kept happening over and over. That's where I started to like, oh come on, like no,
that's torture. It was
like that poor girl. She's watching every single baby die.
And as she's watching her children die, she's losing herself. Like she can no longer speak English. Like she's like
everything,
losing her sanity. And we see, like I said, Vueko get sick, and she ingests some sort of like soup, and she instantly gets better. Everybody,
not right away, but she's like she can still move. She's not.
Yeah, she's not diarrheaing herself with eggs. Like she's getting better, and so then, we see the only person that didn't get sick is the head
Prophet.
Yeah, and then there's a sudden realization of what was in that soup.
Yeah, and I thought it was Iru, but you find out it was the babies. But it's like
it was the babies. He's been taking the corpses of the babies
they've been ingesting
cooking it, and they've been ingesting it to get better. They got their cure at the cost of Iramui and her dream
and her sanity.
and her sanity. And it just gets darker. It gets darker. She keeps giving birth, keeps giving birth, keeps giving birth.
And now he takes them when they're alive.
When they're alive and cuts them in front of her.
Well, he takes it away, but they make sure she sees them taking it away, and you see her crying.
Iramui, who can't speak, she's losing her mind because she can't even spend time with her living child.
Yeah,
she's understanding, like, you know, they're gonna die, but she just wants to spend time with them while they're good.
Yeah, now she can't even get that.
Yep, and it's so damn dark. It's sad, and then we also see Belaf just lose his mind because he's like, I know what they are. I can't stop myself because it tastes so good, and I know it's my salvation, but I can't deal with the guilt. I can't deal with it. You know, please end it, please end it, please end it. And Wazukan's like, nope, like, you're the most important person in here. You're definitely living. And so one day, how did it happen where I guess they were, so we see Vueko go back, and we see again Iramui all fucked up, and Wazukan basically tells Iramui, like, hey, like, there's something within you that resonates with her, where you what's it called, like, when you were sick, she started to get sick and she wanted to die when you were gonna die. And says, I stopped that. And he stopped it by giving her a second golden egg. And Vueko is shook, like, huh? A second golden egg?
And you find out they're almost everywhere.
They're around, yeah. And basically, he had the investigation bots find them. And so gave it a second golden egg. And then at this point, when Iramui sees Vueko, like, losing her shit because of how much in pain she is, and basically Vueko tells Wazukan, like, this wasn't her dream. Like, what you're doing to her, this suffering that she's going through, this wasn't what she wanted. This wasn't what should have been. And it resonates because she does this in front of Iramui, and Iramui starts to freak out, lose her shit. And, like, this little cave that she's in, like, basically collapses. And we see her walk to some random location. And Wazukan basically gathers the villagers and is like, hey,
we're going
to follow her. This is our salvation. And along the way, we see one of the villagers get picked up by one of the giant birds, get squished to death.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
It just keeps getting darker. And we see basically Iramui end up to, like, she stops, and she's at the edge of this cliff. And all of a sudden, we see Belaf go, and it was like, please take my body, take my soul. I can't deal with this. I'm wrong, blah, blah, blah. And basically we see Iramui blow up in a way, and we see the I guess the pit thing. I guess the
thing that Fabito couldn't get through.
Yeah, that we see Reg walk through.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, we see that created for the first time, and we see Belaf walk into it, and Belaf turns into the Belaf that we know now, right?
Yeah.
The creature that we saw that took what's her face?
Basically wants stuff in exchange.
Yeah. So we see that, and so then everyone follows in, and then everybody starts turning into what you see today at the village, at the hollows. They all turn into them. They all offer their body and soul. Wazukan basically kind of stays the same for the most part. He turns into, like, something else. Vueko sees this and was like, I can't. And she goes to commit suicide, and she's like, I can't. So she jumps off the cliff, and Wazukan saves her.
And like, like, if you die, she dies, type of thing.
Yeah, and so she hits her head, collapses from, like, a concussion. When she wakes up, she's butt naked.
For some reason,
she's butt naked, and she's got the black things, the balancers.
She's chained up. Yeah,
she's chained up, and we get the explanation from Wazukan, like, you know, like, now you get to be in Iramui's conscious. You get to be with Iramui's conscious, and that's, you know, everything's all good from that standpoint. And then he leaves her, and so Iramui.
We also find out he made a wish with the egg. It's like, hey, I fought children.
Yeah, it's wild, and he makes his own wish with the egg, and then we find out basically as Vueko has said throughout the time, like, you know, through the balancers, we I was able to pick up on stuff that happened in the village, picked up stuff that happened in the village, and I found out that the balancers are the souls, are what is it? The souls of the children that Iramui bared that couldn't move on to the next life. Those are what the black balancers are, and starts naming them. They have personalities, they get warmth, they get cold.
We're also missing that egg. Papita.
Yeah, I was gonna get there. Get there. And so as they as we keep seeing, like she keeps seeing like little pulses in the village, keep seeing pulses in the village, we get one final egg, one final giant egg, one final blessing from the golden egg, and it's Iramui's final child, and it's Faputa. And Faputa is her goal, because she has
to destroy this place,
is to destroy the village that destroyed her mother. And the first thing he does is she destroys all of the fucking information bots, destroys them all. Giant fire.
Yeah, like basically everything Iramui felt, it was all in Papita.
It's all in Faputa. That rage, that pain, that sorrow, that hope of the living child that was born at the very end of her existence. Is Faputa, and that is who that is. So,
and explains why she can't cross when she when she left.
And so now the big question is that they have yet to reveal is when did she meet Reg? What happened to Reg? What's the promise her and Reg have? How does that get them to the 7th layer?
I don't know what the promise is to help her destroy it, or
gotta be, right?
Yeah, for Wacko, I don't see her going.
No, she's not. She's going to be staying.
I think she's going to die.
That wouldn't shock me either. And she's resounded to that. Like, she's okay.
No, like, after everything that happened to her, like, yeah.
She's like, I just don't want to forget about anybody. That's her only wish.
Yeah, she want Iramui to forget about her.
I didn't cry, but bro, I felt so much pain. I felt so much sadness watching this, bro. My heart hurt watching this.
Yeah. Now that ending made more sense.
Yeah. Remember when I said I was like, I think the end of the ED is like, I still remember you. And I said that I was like, as soon as you hear the opening words of the ED, it ties into the final words of the last episode, and it's flawless the way they did that. Yeah, dude, I felt pain. I felt so sad, so sad watching it, and I was like, this is a 5. This is going to be anime of the season probably, and no one respects it enough.
Yeah,
it doesn't get enough of the respect.
That's what's upsetting.
It doesn't get enough of the respect it deserves, dude. Like, for all the things that we see with summertime rendering, and I'm sure if it was mainstream, it would get a lot of hype and praise. It would be in the top 5 of many people's. I'm certain. But even then, it doesn't touch the level that
I know. I like this better than Summertime so far.
It doesn't touch it, dude. It just doesn't. It doesn't equate. It doesn't. It's otherworldly, like I said. Like, for all the shows that are on like the similar plane, if you want to put Overlord in the same plane as Call of the Night and Lycoris and Engage Kiss, you could do that. And other people have their favorites. For you to say that one of the ecchis is an anime of the season is fucking retarded. You should jump off a cliff and not get saved. And like I said, you could put any of those other ones in the conversation for anime of the season, but for me, Abyss over these last 2 episodes surpassed all of that to a level that I don't think that the other shows are going to reach. The only one that I think has a shot is maybe Lycoris. I think that's the only show at this stage that has a shot
right now. Yeah,
that's the only one. That's the only show, in my opinion, that has a shot to be the caliber or in the discussion as Made in Abyss, because there's nothing that's the caliber of Made in Abyss right now. It's just not. The storytelling is so intricate. It's so painful. It takes you on a ride that none of the other animes will take you on this season. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And then you mix in the beautiful animation, you mix in the wonderful soundtrack, how it all ties in, how it makes you invest. You're invested in these characters, and that's something you can't really say for any of the other anime. Even with like Horus and Engage, you're not invested in them the way you're invested in Rico and Reg and now
the Explorers.
Yeah. You're not. You're just not. And
Exactly.
for you to think anything else is just wrong.
All right,
That's my takeaway.
closing thoughts.
That was my takeaway. Abyss needs more love. Abyss
It
needs
does,
more respect.
100%. It definitely
That is
does.
a takeaway for
It's
us.
upsetting that it's not.
That is a takeaway that Abyss needs to.
Like I don't want to be. Oh, it's what you call it? It's not very. There's not a lot of accidents, but yeah. So Call Night is on the same service, and that's
It's
right.
on the same service and it's higher. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Vermeil
don't
and
want that
Gold
excuse.
constantly. Vermeil and Gold, same thing.
I just don't think they can handle it.
And it's not for all audiences, and that's okay.
I think that's why they're like they see their shit like, oh, they're grossed out or it's too depressing for them. But still, come on.
The best shows are the best anything, the best art. And if you want to look at anime as anime, you can look at it as that. But if you want to look at anime at its reality, animation is basically moving art. And the best art of any type is art that's rooted in depression and sadness and darkness. The best of anything. The best athletes don't come from fucking nice families that are wholesome. They come from people that struggle because their dad left their mom and their mom had 10 kids and worked 5 jobs to make sure that there were fucking food on the table for 10 kids. That struggle, that's what makes great shit. Great athletes. The struggle that you see here, like the people that like, oh, you know, that had like fucking crackhead parents or something and they experienced crack. And so that's why when they experienced crack and they survived, or while they were on crack, they made beautiful fucking jazz music or something, right? That pain, that suffering makes great art, makes great music, makes great athletes. And that's, it just does. It just does. When you hear the best shows, best like regular shows, like one of the shows I hear about all the time is, what's the one from NBC?
Which one?
It's like With Us or something. I don't recall.
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
Yeah.
And there's nothing happy about This Is Us. But when you hear people that watch This Is Us, what do you hear? Spectacular, amazing, gut wrenching, heartwarming in the end, for or just depressing. But constantly you hear of how wonderful it is, and that's the takeaway. The best stuff in life has a foundation of pain, and that's made in Abyss.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah. Closing thoughts.
That was it.
But yeah, great week. A lot was covered.
A lot. 3 hours worth was covered. And we spent approximately 10 minutes of that 3 hours talking about fucking sex and dildos and extend the cocks and
priorities,
missionary gay sex and a bunch of shit.
I will end with this. The OP is done.
Yeah, I still haven't heard it, guys.
I know, I haven't
heard it.
We are allowed 2 revisions. So I will email it to you.
Okay.
And you just let me know.
Okay.
He definitely tried to get the Ichikai Quartet vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It is a male voice because female was extra $30.
Really?
I don't know. We could do that for the ED if you want, or we can see if we can make it mix of boy and girl for OP.
I'll listen to it first. I definitely want a female ED.
We will see. Again, well, we're going halves on this, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're paying for the OP. I'm paying for the ED, so.
Yeah, but I'll pay for it. When I get the total, just give me the money.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, we got that. I'll send it to him later, and if there's no revisions needed, you'll hear it next week.
We should save it for the season finale.
A month though?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, no.
Maybe we'll have the ED by then.
Well, he did it in like 3 days, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, he had a quick delivery time, so
yeah.
And yeah, it was affordable, so
hey, that works.
Yeah, so we're definitely worth it. But we talked our cake. We had our cake. We are full of cake.
Full of exhaustion.
Yeah, that too. We're closing out. You can follow me on Twitter at DamienPhoenix12. You can follow our Twitter at Talk to Keki. We have a link tree on there for wherever you listen to your favorite local podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, you name it. We're probably there.
Mhm.
We want to thank Sean for being our editor. We want to thank W2M Radio and Chair Shot Radio for hosting us for their stuff. You can check out their websites. We're on there as well.
Mhm.
Even also, you gotta follow our Facebook group at Eat the Cake Anime. Again, we still fill out requests to say why you joined, how did you hear about us? We said from Eat the Cake Anime. Sorry, Talk to Keki Anime. We will give you a shout out. And yeah, when we talk about anime, you get to meet a bunch of cool people and assholes.
And a lot of dirty memes and Yuri panels. Oh, that's what I meant to tell you. I'm really yearning for a good Yuri. And I just don't have the time to go back because there's many Yuri that I want to watch. I want a seasonal to have just be Yuri. You know, like a really good.
Maybe we'll have one for the fall.
I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll see. Anyway, another note for those of you that have been listening to us, you'll hear us the last few episodes where we'll be talking to people on our comments is because we do an at everyone, as Matt just said on our Eat the Cake group. We do an at everyone post when the show goes live. And so we get our interactions that way from people that are watching. So for anybody that wants to see the visual of us, wants to see the video version of us, I know we're not that ugly, guys. We promise. We're not gonna give you a seizure or break your TV or laptop screen. But you can follow us on the W2M Network sites. So if you go to W2M Network on Twitch and W2M Network on YouTube, you'll find our video versions of us where you can see our handsome faces and you can hear us talk about and literally watch us talk about plastic dildos and anal sex and whatnot, along with the anime. But in any case, yeah, my plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow us on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at AI_anime24. Anime24. That is my anime Instagram where you can find daily updates and recaps of the shows that I've been watching, that we've been watching as a whole. You can follow me on my podcast Instagram at podcast.senpai. You can follow us on our Talk the Keki Instagram at Talk the Keki, TalkTheKeki. Again, as Matt said, every single one of our socials has a link tree where you can follow us, follow our endeavors, follow what we have going on. Again, a quick shout out for my other podcast. Shout out to my boy Andy with MMA for Marks. We are trying to get that re-uploaded, trying to get that rebooted. Now that Andy has a little bit more time, now I have to find time to do that. So we'll hopefully get that going, and let's get the fuck out of here, dude.
Are we recording this Thursday or we're doing next Thursday?
No, let's just do next Thursday. Unless
right,
you want to do Mondays. Unless you want to start doing Mondays again.
I will only do Mondays if I'm really behind.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Until then, arigato, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!